Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. Welcome once again to another week of Worcester City Council Theater 3000. We are here with a very special guest today. Welcome, Josh Lyford, to the show, everybody.
Lyford.
It's good to be here amongst beautiful friends like you guys.
The reunion of the Worcester Magazine Radio Hour, or whatever we called that show, back on.
So somebody, if we were back at the office, somebody would definitely have to throw a shoe at the wall. Iconic Worcester Magazine moments.
Yeah.
Joe does.
Also, lob shoes into cubicles.
Definitely. And if someone could look over my shoulder and get me fired, that would be awesome too.
That
was the true ending.
Who did that?
I forget his name. Some sort of flying creature.
Creature? Maybe Gene Pterodactyl? Or...
Yes, Gene Pterodactyl. I just can't. I have to say his actual name. I can't help myself. The only name I can think is Walter. But Walter, you know who you are.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Thank you, Mo Bergman. Sun's out, guns out. You know.
We're all in. The rest of us are all in different locations than normal today. Do we got different? Yeah. We all got different backgrounds today.
I had to mix things up.
I appreciate the opt out.
Tech issues. Oh yeah.
Bill, is there a tortoise behind you?
No, this is protective to keep the cat out from the plants.
Ah, gotcha.
It's bulletproof
The
glass,
cat.
so the police snipers don't take him out.
I'm the cat. I like to get in there and chew on him, but I can't get past this. So.
Hi, Matt. Yeah. Matt, great job causing today's Worcester wildfire. That was all.
It's pretty routine occurrence. The Worcester wildfire, this specific brand of Worcester wildfire, happens pretty much once every couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm just really excited that Gene Pterodactyl is no longer allowed on the radio because of Matthew Nell. So great job, dude.
Did he get deplatformed?
I mean, sounds like it. It sounds like they're not bringing him back anymore. So
that's so sick. We did it. We did it, guys.
This is Joe Petty, right? Joe Does Government is Joe Petty. Is that what we're all thinking?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was verified to me independently.
Good. Well, thanks for being here, Joe. It's great to have you. I hope you're paying slightly less attention to this than Kate Toomey normally does, so that you can focus on the very short meeting tonight. If anybody hasn't heard, good. We're getting we're crossing streams a little bit here, but if anyone hasn't heard, inclusionary zoning is off the table tonight. They're going to take that up again in April sometime. I think is what we heard, right, Bill?
Yeah, it's going to be the first week of April. There's no meeting, and so second week of April is when we're going to be doing that. And that was really pretty much the only thing of any consequence on the agenda tonight. So we're hoping and praying, knock on wood, this will be a short meeting.
You're saying renaming Library Way after Ed Augustus is of no consequence?
I am actually saying
We're going to get at least 4 hours of conversation about all of the things that Ed Augustus has done for the city.
Yes. Do you think do we think George Russell will raise as much of a stink about a memorial naming as he did about last week's memorial naming of a street? Or do you think this is a direct result of that?
I just hope that Tu or Attell have it in them to use the exact language that everyone used about Plantation Street against Ed.
I love it.
Yeah, right.
Except once we got that Plantation Street off the table, suddenly we're renaming everything.
Yeah, I got it. What is the correlation between Ed and a library? Is there a reason why Library Way is in danger of becoming Ed Augustus Way specifically?
It was the shortest street in the city and the one of least consequence, so they.
It's punishment to Matthew Nell for starting such a problem today.
God damn it! Unbelievable.
So that's really the only big thing on the agenda tonight. I mean, big in quotes.
Yeah.
But Josh, is there anything going on in the city that you especially want to, touch on while we have kind of a time tonight to do that?
Well, yeah, I was gonna pop in and just say I was really excited for Ed Augustus Way. It's. I guess I'm not really in the right crowd for that. I'm a big Ed Augustus stan. I mean, between the ballpark and everything else, what else?
all the other things, and especially all the things about the library that he did.
There's no chance
No,
the Department of Justice would have ever found Worcester without Edward Augustus.
It's absolutely true. No chance. No, Brian, to answer your question, I had a friend of mine told me recently I had to stop drinking beer alone so much, so I was really happy to pop on because this is totally chill.
Yeah, this is technically
Right.
social.
Yeah, you're not alone. If you're drinking on this program, you're not alone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you can just fire away.
Yeah, that's our tagline is "You'll never drink alone."
Oh man. So I don't know, guys. I personally, not to relitigate the conversation, but I'm really upset with City Councilor Tu Nguyen for eating Skittles during the City Council meetings.
Yeah.
And for talking about it to WGBH. I mean, that was really a bridge too far. That was really a bridge too far. And I think that we should really condemn that sort of irresponsible behavior. But you know what I think is not irresponsible behavior, it's totally fine, is to post on Facebook in 2014. So let's get this straight. Black people are upset over the Ferguson verdict because they believe the white cop overreacted and needlessly killed a black kid. So how do they react to the verdict? They set fires, fire gunshots, and vandalize stores. Does anyone in this country have the guts to actually say what the real problem is here? Anyone? That, of course, is Walter Bird Jr., esteemed former editor of Worcester Magazine, who wants City Councilor Tu Nguyen to be more polite.
Brave. That was very brave.
At City Council meetings. Yeah. Legendary post. The first comment on that post.
This is the song.
They sing it every week.
Oh, cool.
Oh, this is a packed house tonight.
Yeah, what are we packing it in for?
They named a street after Ed. So everybody kept him out.
Oh, no way.
He's not there. There's no way he's there, right?
Ed Augustus is totally there.
If he is there, that's fine.
Who's that guy sitting in Eric's chair?
That's his stunt double.
It's Eric Pterodactyl.
This is like
Where do you keep the kids singing this?
Up in the ceiling.
Yeah. There's little cages.
Oh, perfect. Good.
I can't wait for this show of medieval fealty to a feudal lord.
Right?
It's going to be great.
Councilor Bergman?
Aye, Lord.
Gloria?
Some
Please.
Franklin.
Councilor King?
Here.
Councilor Carlson?
Please, Lord, get me a job at Dean College.
Councilor Rivera?
Here.
Councilor Rose?
Here.
Councilor Russell? Here. Councilor Toomey?
Here.
And Mayor Petty.
Here. We have a
Every time Mike
proclamation,
Trainer walks in, there should be 70s porn music playing.
for National Public Health Week. And whereas the week of April 3rd,
Oh, yeah.
2023 is National Public Health Week. Whereas the theme of National Public Health Week 2023 is centering and celebrating cultures and health.
Start taking better care of
Whereas the goal
myself.
of the National Public Health Week 2023 is to recognize the contributions
That is a
of
pubic
public
health
health
week.
and improving the health of people of the United States and achieving health equity. Whereas COVID-19
Donna's
pandemic
requesting help adjusting her
illuminated
chair
the need
again.
for comprehensive effort to ensure a successful
I believe
vaccination
they held
campaign
it because
that boosts access to vaccine for
Eric
vulnerable
can't be there,
populations and
tonight.
trust in
I-
the vaccine safety and
I
effectiveness.
don't.
Yeah.
I think what we-
But they don't have to
But
say.
Crisis
Yeah,
and
yeah.
reduce racial and
But I
ethnic
believe
disparities
his
related
father
to
passed
death,
away, which is why he's not there.
vaccines
So
access, and
completely
important health
reasonable.
outcomes
Old.
outside of the pandemic, such as chronic disease. Whereas the public health professionals collaborate with partners outside of the health sector, recognizing that the sectors can
This is a
influence
guy
health
that could
outcomes.
probably do a
Whereas the
whole
Worcester
lot
Division
of
Public
home
Health and the
repairs by
Department of
himself.
Department of Health and Human Services partner with the Good Shepherd Ghana Methodist Church to facilitate community engagement.
Oh,
to
there's a
help
drip
more
in the
people
faucet.
get vaccinated in Boston.
He's on it.
And bolster the
Handsy
Yeah,
Joe,
yeah.
dude.
equity
And he's got it.
Increasing access to
Yeah.
credible vaccine
Roll up those
information.
Old Handsy Joe, take care of that.
Whereas the city's partnership with the Good Shepherd Ghana
Oh, sorry, Handy,
Methodist
not Hands.
Church
Different.
serve as a model for
Glasses are too high
trusted
def for this. I
messaging
can't
among
handle it.
faith-based organizations.
He calls a roll
challenges
call every time he
most
finishes a
pressing in
job.
their respective communities.
Yeah.
Now,
That's a
therefore,
drain
I,
cleared.
Fred Petty,
Roll
Mayor,
call.
the city officer, the
All in favor of being me and number one dad?
through April
Any
9th,
opposed?
National Public Health Week, and the city of Worcester urge all its residents to recognize and participate in the observance. With us today, we have
This guy handed me a stout. I'd drink it, no
Dr.
question.
Thomas Ofori from the Good Shepherd Ghana Methodist Church, and we have Council Sarai Rivera. I'd just like to, I'll give Sarai to give this to you.
This
As I chair public
Public Health Week, I'd just like to commemorate how it took us a decade to get sex education in our public schools. We finally got it done, folks. It only took a decade, and we've never been healthier. I can personally attest that gonorrhea is going down.
Worcester finally stopped sex. Ah, thank God.
Photo op. What is this? Pull
Computer
apart?
enhance.
I didn't know you could enhance.
Yeah, dude, we have good,
Wait,
we have good
Travis.
systems here.
Travis, we can enhance?
It's voice activated. One of you guys have to call for it.
Computer
Oh, dude,
enhance.
Sure. Yep.
I am so happy to know that.
Shout out. I mean, the last few years have been
It's
really
just the
challenging.
Zoom on
And I'm
from.
really proud of our public health and the work that gets done here in the city. And I think that because of the work that's been done throughout the years, we were ready to tackle. I don't think anybody had like a handbook on how to deal with a pandemic. But I think when it comes across the board, our team,
Beck's
our
doing
division,
enhancing
our
too.
city did an amazing job in activating.
I'm not
the
doing this, guys.
community.
Just to be
Yeah.
clear.
And that just
Beck,
is a
enhance.
testament to all the great work that
Beck,
the team
enhance.
does day in and day out. Thank you.
Reverend?
Enhance slowly, slower.
Good evening, everyone.
Pull the camera back while zooming it in. Do that Edgar Wright
All right.
shot.
Give me a rack focus.
City-
Rack focus.
City Council fits. Let's go. This is one of the
Oh,
finest
yeah.
sweaters
This
I've ever
is
seen.
This is 100%
For sure.
our best
So much.
city council fit of all time.
And I thank
He has
you
a
so
weird
much
growth
for
on his right shoulder, though.
this honor.
I don't see that. I don't know what you're talking about.
It feels
I think its
good
name
to
is
have
Fred
such a
Pterodactyl.
Oh, yeah, sorry,
right
that's-
hand.
That's Grace's grandpa.
Ah, shit. I
I'm
can't see him if
short
he
of
doesn't move.
words because I don't even know what
A lot of
to
people
say.
don't know that Bill is half T-Rex.
I thank everyone, especially
The power
my
imbued to me by the poop
wife,
thing.
Sophie Mami Mero for my kids, Good Shepherd Methodist Church, and
God.
all
I want to go down to City Hall and
the,
offer that man
city
$200 for that
health
sweater.
workers.
Cash.
All
Here.
made this journey
Take it.
with us, and because of them, we are here enjoying this honor tonight. May God help every one of us, and also we pledge that we will continue to work hand in hand.
I do wish he said,
with the city
will
of
God have
Worcester
mercy on our souls?
and
'Cause
make sure
that
that
is something that we definitely could use.
everybody
Everyone else was thinking it. He knew what he said.
have space like our church will be able to use our space and the people to expand the knowledge of this COVID-19 vaccine and flu vaccine so that people will not even be afraid of it, but they will get to know that it's good to take care of your life.
Did you guys know
and also
that
physically.
the last
May
vote
God
in
bless
Worcester
the
to
city of
prevent
Worcester.
fluoride
May
from
God
entering
bless
the tap
Massachusetts.
water
May
stream
God bless
happened on
United States of
September
America.
11th,
Thank you.
2001. The September 11th.
My esteemed former roommate Tito actually has pushed no fluoride in any water since I've known him. So this is really important stuff. No fluoride ever, especially not in Worcester water.
Google Building 7, there's fluoride in the steel
over the last
beams.
few years. So if people want to come in,
Yeah.
doctor, and,
Fluoride does melt
you
steel
know, the half
beams.
circle.
Um,
Sure, who's here?
Last time I saw Tito was at the roast, and I heavily implied to him that the last time I was in New York, I saw Eyes Wide Shut style behavior, and he just couldn't handle that. He just
Oh,
he
yeah, that's a lot,
absolutely
man.
could not handle that. His eyes widened. He was like, no. And I was like, I saw it. I saw the society. He was like, no.
So just on behalf of the people listening,
You did an important job. Living with him really just showed me that the people that I think are fucking around on the internet are real. Always. Dead serious.
There are no bots.
People who helped us.
They're all just roommates.
Vaccines. In recognition of your service commitment.
They all live with
most
me.
challenging pandemic, wherein you helped administer 51,000 vaccines to Worcester residents and markedly improve equity in our city of Worcester. Thank you. And maybe I'll hand it with this. The first up is Roxanne Madio. You have Dr. Castillo hand it out right there.
Oh my God. Joe Petty, master of processions.
Zirai De Jesus.
I have a space on my desk. We're just waiting
Is that
for a
right?
key to the city, but I think my time has come and gone.
I don't think I'm ever
We
going to
have,
get a key to the city now.
Augustina
Who
Paderone.
could
And I was
steal one
really
and
in the
split it?
running for one. Yeah.
They're not as cool as they crack up to be.
I bought
They're
mine on
good.
eBay. I can let you guys borrow it.
Yeah, if you
that's
could let us
just
walk around with it on a chain and just like hang
Thank
loose,
you
that'd be
for
sick.
that. No, I see the doctor
Game
many
of
times
Thrones
at the
style
library, so thank
chain
you for your
around
assistance.
our waists, like the scholars of keys to the city. Involving
Yes.
keys that
Kuda,
we've-
Menjel.
It's perfect because it wouldn't even be that heavy. Oh, wow.
You got the good one, Brendan.
Is it the real one?
Yeah, this is
And,
one of the fancy old ones.
And
when
plus,
they-
you've been awarded.
Wait, did you literally buy that off of eBay?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Doctor of the Year.
That's incredible.
Community
You think I would
Physician of the
fucking sit
Year.
around and wait for some schmuck like Joe to give me a key? I paid like $5 for this.
I got one. Janet Price.
That's incredible.
Janet Price.
Yeah, it's made of brass and everything. It's really nice.
It's hold on.
Dude, Joe is having the time of his life.
Peter McConnery.
Oh, yeah.
He's laughing so
A little bit
hard.
above.
He's in Spain. Okay. Well, there's sign.
He's like, this is what being the mayor is all about.
Gary Wolf, MD. Gary.
I'm sick of all these decisions and responsibilities. I
Shaun
just want to
Connolly,
hand out little
MD.
stuff to people.
He's
It
just got
is
a pocket full of
genuinely
trinkets.
nicer than the real one. Or
Yeah,
like
well, this is a real one, but this is
That's
back
the good
Robert
one.
Terrell,
This is from when they
MD.
cared.
Yeah,
and
this
like
is
it-
just some piece of shit.
This was
Back
like,
when the keys
Travis.
meant something, man.
Regina Cunningham.
Travis, is that a powwow key? My favorite part about you getting that was going to that meeting to watch everybody else on the powwow committee get one.
Oh, I was at one of those meetings. This was a
Karen
different one.
Schola Steiger.
But dude, this thing brought up so much fucking pain and anguish and angst in the middle of the festival. It's so fucking stupid.
Oh, God.
So stupid.
Oh, okay. Thank you. So we said hi.
I'm gonna fade back to the background.
Bye.
Claudia De Piva.
Still bullshit that I don't know
Corey's
key
not
to
here.
the city.
I need to catch up on the shitstorm of the day. I don't.
Did you hear?
I only saw the Walter tweet. I didn't see anything else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna catch up on it right now. I'll live comment. on
Diane
it,
Graham. RN.
I mean, like,
He's not here.
first of all, Matt Wally, shut the fuck up. Like, go away.
Del Valley.
We're fucking
Yeah,
screwed.
yeah.
Nobody wants you around, dude. You weird little robot.
You don't want an
Ellen
opinion
Recuse
from a ham
yourself,
sandwich?
bitch.
Noel Balutis. Then we have the whole team, the Crisis and Emergency Preparedness Committee.
Wait, what's the other shitstorm?
Yeah, what's the other one?
We all set? Did everybody get one?
Did everybody get one?
Well, congratulations, everyone.
Good,
Is
good,
everybody?
good.
If we're in them out.
Joe, what's up, bud?
the
I got
only-
the
I
space
just want
waiting.
to say that we wouldn't have been able to have done it without you. All the vaccines and all
The
the
only
equity
time I felt
vaccines
better
that went
than
out
this
into our
is when I
community,
brought a bag
all
of
the outreach
clementines
that you guys
to
did
Youth
was
Soccer
incredibly impressive.
after the game,
I mean,
hand
if
them
you
out to
look
the
at
kids.
communities of color, they're still a little bit lower.
Second of that,
but
this is the
nothing
best day of my
like what
life.
it was when we started. And so I'm indebted to all of you for everything that you have done. You have made this pandemic a lot easier for all of us. So I thank you, and I want you to know that the majority of
It's a
people
pretty
are
chill
also
pandemic,
volunteer.
all things
Some
considered.
the doctor back there came from Rhode Island and traveled here just to volunteer to do
I think so, yeah.
the clinics here. So an amazing group of
Yeah, everyone was being
people
so
who have
normal
given their
about it.
time
It's
to
kind of
be able
cool.
to do
That was just so chill.
Thank you all.
That should go recognized. A lot of people put their own time into this.
Yeah, there
and,
there wasn't any
Fox
like
other jobs,
violence,
other family
political or
commitments, and,
otherwise,
on behalf of the people who are helping us out.
as a result of it.
My
On
life
behalf of
improved,
everybody,
certainly.
Thank you.
We're better as a nation, that's for sure.
And you know what? If there were any wounds opened up during that time, they've all healed.
Right. Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It reaffirmed my faith in this system that we have.
Yeah. It's only getting better. Every day it gets better.
Thank you, Doc. Thank you for doing your work. I appreciate it. Good to see you. Thank you, Doc.
Yeah, this was actually a pretty good filler
Congratulations
for a
on your
meeting
award.
that has nothing
I was gonna say
substance to offer.
they really juiced the time.
Yeah, Joe's milking it.
Anyone want to make a speech? Come on up.
I got a second key for you.
Okay. We
Hey,
have,
wait. Come back. Let's take another
this
picture.
is- so, held under privilege is going to be a couple, including
hold on.
inclusionary zoning, 15B and 9A, 15B and 9A. By, I'm holding 15B. Sean Rose is holding 9A.
I know we're not supposed to
Underprivileged,
laugh, but
and
what
Until
the
High Eyes going to hold 10J.
I don't care if I'm not supposed to laugh. That was so good.
I also want to recognize that Assistant City
That'd be
Manager
so
Hung
funny if
Nguyen
Matt
is
Waller
with us
ran again.
tonight. Welcome. And first person.
We still have the memes,
here in
dude.
the city of Worcester, sitting in that chair.
Inclusion, poopy zoning. Poopoo zoning.
Okay. We have approval of the minutes.
Oh, did you guys see that
Everybody here?
Red Metro Worcester
All those in favor?
is trying to say that I am racist for describing myself as the Jane Goodall of the Worcester City Council, the WGBH?
Just
pretty
absolutely
good.
phenomenal stuff. Incredible.
There's a whole video out. I didn't watch the video, but I commented so true.
Wow. His 6 followers must be pretty fired up.
Okay.
Dude, they are.
There's a
5
person-
likes on that
a,
thing.
That's
person
you know,
who's
that's
2
my
minutes
favorite
to
thing about
appear on
that.
the
It's like,
agenda.
literally nobody. Like,
Is your name
most of
City
its
resident?
views are us
Fred,
making fun of.
Yeah, I know, right? I know.
10F. The item about the implementing the traffic signal priority technology.
One
I
of
don't
the
think I
Jenny
saw
one-
the Jenny one.
One of them is legitimately funny.
I think that has a lot of
There's-
merit.
Yeah, oh, they
What-
It
cracked
would be
me
nice
up.
because
Yeah.
there's so many
It's like-
times that traffic gets
If it's
bogged
somebody
down
trolling, then it's like such a good job
at
because it has
certain,
only ensnared
intersections that
like this
I think
the,
that'd be a
the
great
most like idiotic,
Nice.
brain dead, like Worcester right wing. Like,
And
jokes.
uh,
It's so funny.
14B
It was cool.
You know
of him to
what?
come
I
out and
think-
just say like, I don't get
Yeah, I
humor.
would be nice.
You know who I think we're looking at who runs that
free
page right now.
base fares. I don't know
I'm
how
proposing a
much,
new theory. Red Metro
Cody
Worcester
Harris
is Fred
will help.
Nathan.
Fred Nate.
As you can see, I've been doing that a
He's
long
always
time
he's always at I always see him at wrestling. He's always
Anything
just
that the
taking
city can
pictures
do
of people.
to help.
And I always want to ask him
Like just people in the
what we do.
audience?
keep
Yeah,
the
he just like
flow
takes
of
pictures of
traffic
people.
and keeping the buses free.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Because there
Are
are
they
a lot of
good?
people out there that cannot
Are they
afford
flattering
a car.
photos?
I could see
No,
him
the
being,
phone pictures, right?
I could see him being the kind of guy who ran a
by all the
subreddit that got
people that are
banned in the
taking
Great Purge
the
for kiddie porn.
RTA
Like, yeah, that's
or having to depend upon friends and
The
family
website proprietor
and
of
coworkers
visiblepantylines.com. This guy right here.
places we
Brutal.
have to go to. So
A man who should never learn about the existence of 4chan.
there are tax money that is involved.
Let's just hope and pray he does not learn about 4chan.
Were you surprised by how much cocaine was on the car, Paul? Or what are we...
Thank you. What's your name and city of residence?
Adela Hazard, excuse me, City of Worcester, 10H. Councilor
It's so fucking funny. It's so funny.
It is not too late to run Adela Hazard as our Manchurian candidate.
It's true. That is very true.
We could pull papers for Adela next week.
Worcester has so much
Let's do
history
it.
to offer.
Does someone have to
She
be
was just
involved in their
done-
campaign
People are not aware of
to
it.
be elected public
You know,
office?
There's a church
Like, could we
in
just
my
run her?
neighborhood.
I don't think that she would have
I
to be
walked by
involved.
it for years, and I finally looked
I
up
think
She
we'd
have
have
to
to get her
support it.
Oh my
permission.
gosh, this used to be
Yeah,
a
that's-
Jewish
We'd probably have to get her
neighborhood. And I looked
permission.
up, and the sign was almost covering it, and I
To
saw
use their
writing
picture,
that I
probably,
didn't
definitely.
understand, and the Jewish star.
Oh, we'd have
That's
to.
a historical building. But what if that church had been torn down? There used to be a temple. But there are all kinds of locations all the way back to the Revolution in Worcester.
Jack, this is Christian's
Somebody should be
Act Blue
doing
page.
even research.
Christian King some money if
I
you
happen to
feel
be
like
a
it, everybody.
historical buff, but
So we can
people shouldn't have
try
to
to
be
make sure
to
that
walk through Worcester
Jose Rivera
and
doesn't
see the
win.
history. Now
We
we know
need every
that
vote
the
we can
city's
get.
been a city for 300 years.
I
You don't have to do the math to know there's a lot of history here. So I think
Guys,
that's
I heard
really-
that his campaign.
I'm
is gonna
working
be a
on something
knockout.
with Jose Rivera.
Oh,
I'm
you-
working on something with Jose Rivera.
You get a job with
Don't
the
wanna say.
campaign?
Now, I also
Yeah,
want
yeah.
you to
I'm an
put
intern.
TV,
Uh-oh.
Worcester Regional Bus Transit.
Does Walter
I'm trying to get-
Pterodactyl have your
We
number?
need to keep the
Yeah, I'm
food
trying to get some
fair.
weird texts.
Not just
That's what I'm trying to
because
do.
it's affordable,
No, but I think it sounds like
Passages.
maybe Christian is.
but it's saving.
From what people are
I
saying.
haven't seen
that's
this-
cool.
It's possible.
this many people
I
on
don't
the
think Jose
bus
Rivera is
since
running
I
for mayor.
was a kid.
Jose Rivera is running to replace Kate Toomey,
It's
who
saving
the
for
police
pollution.
union has had its
It's saving for
she's
traffic.
useless to them now.
It is
Her cover's blown.
beneficial in all kinds of ways, but also for the passengers. So I think it's most important. It's green, to say the least.
Oh fuck! I gotta put Do Not
And
Disturb
it's
on.
affordable. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else? What's your name and city of residence?
Probably selling autographs at a Railers game.
Possible.
I don't think we have anything to worry about.
I wanted to talk about item 8B at Augusta.
I have never seen a campaign manager.
We have
Oh wait,
nothing
is
in
this
the city
Nicole?
name for
Yeah.
former city managers Mulford, Hoover, or
Oh.
O'Brien. So I would consider maybe we can name something for Mr. Augustus after, at least we name things after those city managers, or perhaps once the Justice Department has finished investigating our police department. And on a larger note about naming, I would once again urge
destroyed.
the city to name an appropriate monument, building, or street for Mr. Quack Walker. Quack Walker is one of two people, along with Elizabeth Freeman, who is responsible for the abolition of slavery in the Commonwealth. Mr. Walker lived in Barry. He had been promised his freedom,
His face got so
but
mad
after
when
his
she
original
said
slave
slavery.
owner died, her widower refused to keep that promise.
Fred
and
just
continued
realized
to
they're naming a
enslave
street
Mr.
after
Walker.
Ed, and he's
As a
bullshit he
result,
didn't speak
Mr.
on
Walker ran away to a neighboring farm where his former owner's widower beat him severely. Mr. Walker was successfully able to sue the man who beat him in 1781. The case was first heard
He's
in the
gonna ask to
Worcester
speak
County
again.
Court of Common Pleas, which is the predecessor to the Worcester District Court.
Nicole's great.
Mr. Walker's
Back when
court
she was
case
a
in
more
Worcester,
active
right
blogger,
here, where a
she
jury
did really
found
good
him
work.
to be
Yeah.
a free
Always.
man, is the basis for ending slavery in the Commonwealth. And yet, for over 240 years, we in Worcester have never acknowledged this brave man, Quack Walker, with an appropriate monument. I would urge the City Council to wait to name anything after Ed Augustus, any city manager, or anyone else until you can find an appropriate commemoration for Quack Walker. Quockwaker. The man who ended slavery.
Donna Gloria is like, I'm still lost.
Right here in Worcester. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anybody else? Mr. Matthews, should I get up now?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and through you to the body. Paul Matthews, City of Worcester, here speaking as the Executive Director and CEO of the Worcester Regional Research Bureau. As I think all of you are well aware, but perhaps the public are not, we're a 37-year-old nonprofit that's dedicated to providing objective, fact-based research to help guide public decision-making in the City of Worcester and surrounding communities. I'm here
Founded by a
specifically
right-wing
about
lunatic who just
14B,
made shit up and published
all
it.
aboard, financing a fare-free WRTA. I first want to thank the council collectively, and too many of you to name.
Now it's a
individually,
make-work program for nerds.
Supporting a strong WRTA. I want to particularly commend the Standing Committee on Public Service and Transportation for their hearing in January, which I think
Not that there's anything
illustrated
wrong
and
with that.
illuminated a great many issues.
Yeah, it's tough out
This
there.
report is the first of two. We're coming out with a second report in a few weeks on ridership, and it builds on a report we issued in 2019 calling for fare-free service before the pandemic, as well as one we issued in 2020. It's important to note that all of the financial data illustrates the importance of state funding to our RTA and its success. Yet there are municipal assessments as well, and all of you will know, but for people at home, Worcester pays 77.8% of all the municipal assessments in the Regional Transit Authority. For reference, the next highest is 5.4%. So it clearly illustrates the importance of the City of Worcester. Now, looking at the financial data in this report, just to hit
That
a couple
basically
quick
means we own
highlights,
Holden, right?
it revealed that fare revenue between 2013
I straight up can't listen to this guy.
decreased by
It's just not sticking. It's
14%.
not tracking his
And
information.
commensurately, fare box recovery revenue dropped like a rock.
Just
as well.
disappears.
So much less fare revenue was being collected to support the Regional Transit Authority. And part of that is the ridership survey data from 2018 shows that 65% of riders were under $25,000. So as you can well imagine, there's strong need here, and it really illustrates the importance of having a strong RTA, and as you've heard from some of the other speakers regarding the ridership. There's a new opportunity on the state level, not only beyond the dynamic of a new governor, new Secretary of Transportation, and growing legislative support for more funding, but there's actual funding flowing to the
Sounds like
state
there's some screaming
from
out in
the
the
Fair
hall.
Share Amendment. So the state's Department of Revenue estimates that over the upcoming year, the state is going to collect 1.4.
Kenny Merrill Carlson just grabbed Nicole
to
Apostolo by the hair.
1.7 billion. That's with a B. That's expressly for the purpose of education and
Now
transportation.
you listen to me.
Governor Healy has already included some of those funds in her new budget proposal.
I
for this
wanted
year.
it to
She
stay
included
Plantation
25 million
Street.
more to
Why would I
RTAs,
rename a
of
street
which 6
after
million
somebody
is
who abolished
specifically
slavery?
the legislature's RTA
What part of this
caucus
don't you
is proposing
understand?
Yeah.
to try to help the RTAs statewide.
We like
So
the
the
pro-slavery
funding
street
to the
names.
state.
We are not
It's
endorsing any
critical
anti-slavery
that the
street
RTA
names.
continue leading these discussions. We've led a statewide examination of fare-free service since it was first instituted during the
Kenny Merrill Carlson has a
Now, it's
challenger.
very important to make clear to
There is
everyone
a
at
challenger.
home, I am not
very
Rob
saying it is
Bellata?
up to this
How do you
body
pronounce
or the
that?
council.
Bellata?
It is not.
Bellata, yeah.
What
Rob
I
Bellata.
appreciate tonight is the
Give me your
opportunity
money.
to speak to those
He's
at
gonna
home.
fucking
I
destroy
appreciate
her.
any opportunity that might
Yeah,
be provided.
with our
to
Joanna
help.
Hampson dance.
The
Last
Public Service
time,
and Transportation Committee.
This is like
on
200 votes or
report and
something.
our
I don't
ridership
remember
report
quite what
that's
it was.
coming out.
but-
Right.
And I also want to make sure people at home know that tomorrow morning,
Rob is much
the
better than
WRTA,
Candy.
which is a regional body, is having a meeting of their Finance and Audit Committee.
Oh, he's much,
to
much better.
determine their budgetary proposal, despite the fact that House and Senate have not released their numbers.
And he'll bring
It's later in the process,
some
and
much
they will
needed
make
dialogue
an initial
about
recommendation
accessibility in the
on
city,
whether or not to return
Right.
fair
the
revenue
conditions of
to the budget.
ADA compliance.
We're going to take
That are
out of order
really
the
bad
motions
in
from the
Worcester.
rules. Take
Yes,
this
it's
item out of
really
order.
bad.
Those in favor opposed so ordered. We have a few people waiting for it in the audience.
Here's why you oughta
First one is 14B.
vote for Bellata.
Which is Paul Matthews, President CEO of the Worcester
Whoa.
Regional Research
Oh,
Bureau.
shit.
I'm just saying this stuff for free. I'm just saying this stuff for free.
I hope his campaign pays you.
Hope his campaign's listening.
Questions, or Nice report. Councilor Bergman.
Just briefly, Mr. Chairman, I just want to thank Mr. Matthews for an excellent report, also for attending our January subcommittee meeting, and I also wanted to make him and others aware, if they're not, and they very well may be, that we're having an additional or another
enhance, slower.
Slower.
Zoom.
Really appropriate given the Wednesday meeting. And the intent of our meeting on Thursday is to try to determine where the WRTA
What kind of car does he drive?
Regarding fair or no fair for this upcoming year.
I'm guessing a Mercedes.
A Saab.
Appreciate the report.
No, it's like an old white Malibu or something.
There's a whole host of issues.
That's sorry for a GTO guy.
The WRTA. We're going to
Low,
continue
the
to try
goat.
to address. Ultimately, the decision making is not completely ours, but we certainly can exert our opinions. And
I'm in the market for a new car.
So thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Shipboy 2 finally shat the bed on me.
Oh no!
Council
R.I.P.
So,
Were you able to steal the catalytic converter off of it?
First, want to commend
not yet, but I
our
will.
committee.
I'm getting my money back on that.
That's done
Just taking it back to the shop. Saw it off.
Yeah, nah, never put it
Here.
on.
Rosen did a lot of work on this on his committee. Councilor Bergman and the other folks that are currently on the committee. And of course, thanks to the Research Bureau and all the community partners and groups that have been advocating for Fair Free. And I just wanted to mention, we heard a little bit earlier about the Fair Share Amendment. I was very happy to have been part of a leading on that with
It would be very funny
Massachusetts and other
if Christian
partners.
beat Joe
And
for mayor.
when we talk about fair
It'd be
free,
awesome.
What a
it
year
goes back
for
to
Joe
folks
Petty.
paying their fair share. Fair share amendment is supposed to bring in about
Loses a
$2
campaign,
billion
gets fucking
yearly
destroyed at the
if it's
roast of
done the
Worcester.
right way, and there's no
Loses another
kind of
campaign.
backdooring of it.
Becomes
and that is
Ryan, did you stick around for the whole thing?
specifically for
He left during
improvements in
Bill's
schools,
set
colleges, better roads, bridges, trains,
because he knew that
transportation.
it was
And we have
Bill
a
and me left,
delegation here.
and
The majority of whom supported that amendment.
It wasn't going to be
You
fun.
hear a lot
Show
of
enough
conversations
face,
about
yeah.
fair free. It's really once
he, did,
again
he came
about
up and
those
he
folks
apologized
who
for
are making
leaving.
over $1
He's
million
like, sorry, I got to take off.
a year
And
doing their part.
he went up to
We have
Sam
folks
Meza,
struggling.
who's like,
I've
roast of
said
Joe
it
ultimately
time and
was
time
like,
again,
I don't have any
Worcester
idea who
is
you
a hub
are.
of services,
A lot of people are talking about you. You must
resources,
fucking suck.
allowing folks to get to and
Joe
from
went up to
work
Sam and
and
was like, hey, great
accessing
job.
those services. And
Sam still didn't know who it was.
We've gone from a point in this
That's
council
awesome.
with some
Fucking
folks
rules.
talking about bus riding and buses being possibly obsolete, to understanding the necessity of reliable and consistent
Wow, Joe Petty,
transportation.
X-Men
And,
fan. That's
I hope
crazy.
that we continue as a city to partner and promote fair free while it's going on.
When was the last time you
and
think Joe Petty
again,
read a
appreciate all the
comic book?
that's been done in committee by this council. And our
Right now,
This
under
morning
the desk.
on the John.
Councilor Carlson.
He's just cracking open
Mr.
Transmetropolitan.
Chairman, so I first want to thank
Strictly
the
Archie.
Bureau for all of the work that they've done on this. But I
The
think
world's #1 Dilbert fan.
when we first had the meeting, this is a struggle.
I imagine Joe Petty reads Transmetropolitan and he goes,
Trying
"Yeah, I want to be the Smiler or whatever." What was the yeah? He's like, that guy's cool.
You know, you just heard Mr. Matthews talk about Worcester.
I heard he
and
reads
us
Siddhartha.
being 77% of, you know, with the WRTA, and yet
Gonna-
I feel
First
like,
edition of Being Call.
our voices here in the city really are not.
Signed
What do you
by
think this lady
Moby.
thinks about skate parks?
Fair free. As Council Bergman indicated, we have another meeting this Thursday evening.
That's a new cut for
It really
community.
concerns me where we're headed with this. And yes, we do have a great delegation
All right.
who's
Doesn't like
very
Marmaduke.
supportive of us with this fair free. But
Candy.
I also think that we do have a board that is not really listening to the community.
Oh my god.
I hope that
I want her to lose so bad.
Oh, my
shakes
God.
out, but at this point,
I would like that's Kate Toomey, #1 on my list of
eager to see
Worcester City councilors that need to
several
lose.
things
Cameo Carlson,
that we
#2,
have asked
easy.
for. There's several.
Oh, for sure.
questions
And maybe
that
more
we
entertaining.
And yet,
Because
The hissy fit?
2 years of her knowing it's coming. And
Yeah.
It's almost as if
The
it's
hit will be
fallen
unreal.
on deaf
We can
ears.
only pray
And
it's
again,
televised.
I think that it's really important. There's been a lot of work.
Like that hissy fit she
been
through
done,
on
and we know that
Gary
Fair
Rosen's
Free
show when she
is
got bumped
certainly
off ED.
something that has worked
that was
out.
one of the best.
The chairman, Council
One of
Bergman,
the
talked
best
about
moments of my
this
life, I
with,
think.
you know, us advertising on the buses.
I just don't understand. I don't understand why you wouldn't give me the job after I have been having the job for so long.
We've made really, I think,
so good.
Minuscule.
What
I know it's a little played out to.
she going
but
for right now?
I would just ask that this council
I don't know.
and the leadership.
I know it's a little played out to make fun of like a "Can I speak to your manager" haircut, but it does seem pretty crazy in 2023 to like demand that at gunpoint from your hairdresser.
Yeah, and also be objectively the most "Can I speak to your manager" person that I've ever encountered.
Right. Do you know who my husband is?
I'm not so
Yeah.
sure that
Do you know who my husband is? He's scary. All right, he's legitimately scary. You ever heard of a union heavy?
Send out public service and transportation, and I'm sure Council Bergman will have a hearing on it and the further discussion. Those in favor, opposed, so ordered. We also have another item some people are waiting for in the room here, 15C.
Shuffling his comics
This
under
is
the desk.
From the Economic Development Committee regarding the resolution to adopt the application Franklin Street.
Reading the complete collection of Paper Girls.
We need a roll call, Council.
Yeah. Up next is item V for vendetta.
Mr. Dunn is here today. I was in all honesty.
I want to give special shouts out to Brian K. Vaughn.
In front of the joint
Brian Allen
at the State House on the expansion of HTIP and reforming this program, which has been good for gateway communities, but that still doesn't come with affordability requirements or any labor protections. That leads me to the next concerns that I had about this particular project. And before my comments come across or are categorized as being anti-development, please don't take them that way. They're not. I think this project is wonderful. It's great that it's revitalizing blighted properties, and it sounds like the Go Venture team has done, and Mr. Dunn have done a good job at pulling all the pieces together. Some of the things that I communicated to Mr. Dunn early this morning were in regards to three things. One is that I had concerns about the affordability requirement only being 15 years instead of 30 years. You know, we're going to have a robust discussion on inclusionary zoning in a couple of weeks. And my concerns mirror, again, the advocacy that I and others and in the community have put forward regarding these developments. When you take a look at
this development's getting a
formula,
70% tax break.
In terms of the 60%
70%.
AMI affordability, which again, great. Thank you, Mr. Dunn, for negotiating that with the developers.
Like, what's the point?
At least the way that it was presented to us was one-bedroom apartments.
But we can't
units
do
of
inclusionary
one-bedroom
zoning.
apartments. I had expressed to Mr. Dunn and relayed to him that this should be related to
the developers might leave
that
us.
Instead, it makes more sense, and this is something that we continuously hear from the community: the lack of any affordable housing.
just like-
period,
it's so
but
crazy,
also the distribution of one-bedroom.
There's never like a factual argument to back that up.
Talk to the developers and ask if they would be willing to do.
It's just like, well, what if they
12
do?
studio
It's like,
apartments,
okay,
19
yeah.
one-bedroom apartments and
What
5
if the fucking
two-bedroom
city
apartments.
burns down because
Back of the napkin calculations,
we don't
it
appease
seems
the
like
poop
this,
thing.
this type of distribution
That already got burnt down twice,
would
though. We
not
don't have to worry about that again.
hurt the development. Instead,
What if the city burns down because we let hedge funds build developments out of fucking plywood?
And then the third point that I made to Mr.
How about
Dunn
that?
is that I've spoken to the folks.
Yeah, the tip for
at
this
CLW,
Franklin Street
Center for
development
Living and
is
Working, and,
very
I'm
crazy.
aware that they have communicated that they're going to put a proposal regarding the accessibility clause in inclusionary zoning, but perhaps a different type of proposal that it sounds like one of the councilors is going to bring forward at the inclusionary zoning hearing. So my rationale was before we approve this project, that folks with disabilities should have some units included in the 60% AMI affordability. Mr. John and I chatted very briefly before in the hallway, and it sounds as though he has some information to share. So through you, Mr. Chair, I'd like to have Mr. John explain some of the things or respond to some of the things that I said.
Mr. Dunn?
Sure, through the chair to the councilor, thank you for the questions. I just wanted to start by saying that I think we're definitely on the same page with most of the council and the community as well in terms of the needs that we're seeing in the community and the priorities that we have for housing development in the city. And so we take that approach in these negotiations with developers. And this is a result
suspicious.
of a lot of negotiations over a year since we started contemplating this project. So really tried to make sure that we were stretching as far as
I'm only here until I get a job offer with a developer.
One thing that I'll kind of maybe take them a little bit out of order, but one of the
I'm
things
very
that we
competent
had,
for
asked
developers.
the developer to consider was
I wish a
as it
developer would
relates to
hire
the
me.
10% affordable
This is
units
very
in the
much like how
project,
local
really trying to
journalists
get
go
as
on to
close
work for the city
inclusionary
communication
zoning and the
department,
framework that we're
but the
recommending
opposite
with
way.
inclusionary zoning as possible with that. So that's why we have the 10%.
Speaking of new hires, did you guys see they hired somebody today?
In addition, they had initially
I did see that. Tom Matthews?
36 units, which would be 10%
Oh, yeah.
of one-bedroom units. And so
I don't know
we
Fabian.
asked
Do
them
they?
to
Does
consider
everybody
that
know
kind
what
of
Fabian's
proportional
deal is?
distribution that you were
Nah,
describing.
he's an
At the
out-of-towner.
time of submitting
They're
the
from
package to the
Jamaica.
City Council. They were not yet
Or he is
able
from
to
Jamaica.
confirm and commit that would be possible. But I am happy to say
I don't know
that
much.
over the last
He's new
few days,
and he's
as they
heading
were
up our arts
continuing to
department.
explore that
We
based
need
on our
somebody
request, and I'm glad we're aligned
competent in
that,
the role. So I
that they
look
are
forward
able to
to
do a
his
proportional distribution of studios, one
I don't know,
bedrooms, and
attempt
two bedrooms,
to
which would
see what he
make it
does.
more aligned with the framework on inclusionary zoning. So right now they're projecting 14 studio units, 18 one bedrooms, and 4 two bedrooms. So very close to what you were suggesting, and it is a good proportion in terms of the overall unit mix. So happy to provide that update.
I
think
love
that's
all
great, and it
Jamaican
makes
people.
the project even stronger. In terms of the ADA
Love and
units,
support
we
to
didn't
all
actually
my
get into a
Jamaican
whole
friends.
lot of detail in the package. That's
Guys, in
front of you and
defense
that
of
was at
Mr.
committee, but I
Dunn,
know
I mean, what would
Councilor
happen
King
if
had
we
asked about
didn't
this
offer
as
them
well at the
70%
committee in
tax
terms of
break?
the number
Would
of
they
ADA
pay
units
more
that we
taxes? That's
and
untenable.
likewise, we try
That
to
would be
have
ridiculous.
developers stretch as far
Yeah,
as they can
and
in
then we'd have
terms
to
of,
do something about the black
level
mold
of
in the
ADA,
schools.
units
And
in
that
the
just seems like a
this
pain in the
project
ass.
by code.
That's the
we
problem with
Where
having
would we get
enough
our
money.
18 ADA
Yeah.
units, and they are increasing that. to
That's really the problem with
Maybe,
having enough like tax.
So we
Are you
extend
mean
that further? And then in terms of
we're gonna try to
slating some
give
of those ADA
every
units
kid a
specifically
Chromebook?
to be part of the 10% of
Oh,
the
jeez.
overall project. Right now
That sounds
we're
like a pain in the
projecting 9
ass.
of
We can't get
those,
that much
so
money
it
from
would be
these
about half
developers.
of what would be required by code.
But my rent is
Well, maybe if you get a job with a developer, you could afford a tie that works.
21 units overall in the project. So again, happy to provide that additional
I
information.
imagine it's
I
like
like
me
it
in
when
high
it's-
school.
Education in that regard.
He
So we're
just
happy to see
leaves
that
it tied
in the
and then
project.
just
In
loosens
terms
it
of
every day at the end of the day.
length
and
of the
puts it on a hook
affordability,
and
as
then
we know, again,
like
this
slides it
project
back
is
up
not
in the morning.
actually subject to inclusionary zoning, but we wanted to come up with a recommendation.
I love
I mean,
that the
I'm
city
distracted.
refuses to
as
play
close to
chicken
that
with the
framework that we've
with the
recommended as
developers,
possible,
so I get to play chicken with
extending
my
the
landlord every year.
affordability restriction
Increases my
beyond
rent.
what we proposed for
It's very
15 years
chill.
to 30 years, I think would be a real challenge, and we'd have to go all the way kind of back to the drawing board in terms of what we've negotiated.
If people
We
want to
feel
do
strongly
a
that what
citywide
we've
rent
recommended
strike,
is
we
definitely
can
fair
do
and balanced.
we can do a
and is
tent city
huge
in my
commitment on the
backyard
part
if
of the
anybody
developer
wants
because
safe
we've
place to
recommended
stay.
that those
We
affordable
can
units
start
would remain affordable
a
for the
Batista
same
bill.
duration that they'll be receiving benefit from the city. So this is a 15-year
The Eric
tax
Batista
increment
autonomous
incentive
zone.
plan, and so they're going to maintain that affordability for the duration of that plan, and then
On Ed
after 15
Augustus
years, they're
Way.
no longer receiving any benefit from the city, and that's when the affordability would expire.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mr. John. And I would love to have that as sent to the city council, if possible, just an outline of what you just iterated. Again, for me, I'm coming really high off of 5 hours of testimony at the State House.
That's awesome,
regarding
man.
these types of projects.
I hope
like
it's
ours.
affordable
And,
in some way.
I think that there's a tension always between growth and making sure that we're taking care of blighted properties and adding and responding to the needs of our community. When, Go Venture team, please don't take this the wrong way. You're not the only developers that, use this type of subsidies with rents that
Fuck you, Go
aren't
Venture.
affordable. But,
Fuck you.
studio apartment, 6,100 square feet, $1,000 and $900 for a 2-bedroom apartment, $2,350. These aren't rents that are affordable by any stretch of the imagination to probably more than half of our population, but And so why I'm bringing this as a framework.
They called it the kiln because you gotta be fucking baked to pay those prices. All right, guys?
Oh,
I understand that you have a difficult job at balancing all of our
that's
needs.
pretty fucking sick.
I think that
dude.
it's our
That's pretty
job
fucking sick.
as a city council to consistently push the envelope as much as we can, and partner with you to make sure that you're part of our community's needs. I'm very happy to hear that 9 ADA units will be affordable at the 60% AMI, if I heard you correctly. That's big. I'm hoping that as we go into the inclusionary zoning discussion on the 11th, that we continue to push the envelope as much as we can, wherever we can, with the power and influence that we have, to make sure that we respond.
They call it the kiln because the city subsidies are baked into the windfall profit model.
Council King.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to begin by saying
They call it the kiln because my eyes glaze over when they start talking about
towards more affordability alongside my colleagues. You know, as vice chair.
See, I actually thought they call it the kiln because these rent prices are killing me.
Sarai Rivera, we certainly kind of went over this in committee, and to have our concerns reflected again in the words from my colleague are important because it validates the fact that.
Listen, Yenni, this is Worcester. Everything's behind a dispensary now.
Mr. Chairman. What I will say is I certainly
the vote
talked a
on
little bit about
inclusionary zoning,
the deal.
the good proposal is going to be 4-7.
Really hard.
Then
No
everyone's
deal
going to
is
vote
perfect.
unanimously for the
I
proposal
think
that does
Proventure,
nothing at all, but they get to say that they
has
tried.
also come to the table. You know, I was
4-7
happy to
on
hear
the
about
meaningful one,
accessibility,
11-0 on the
and
one
affordability
that
numbers
doesn't
of units
change
in
anything
committee.
for anybody.
And I really think that this group,
Unless you
these
make
developers
80% of
can
the area
serve as a
median
model
income,
for where we need
and
to go. in
as
the city.
such don't even
60%
need the help.
AMI, making sure units are accessible and still,
There you go.
you know, meeting their needs in terms of the business aspect of all this.
The 4 votes in favor of the
Again,
good
there's
one
some
will
things we'd
be
like to change. I have
Rivera,
questions about
King,
the 80%,
and the
Nguyen,
50%, Nguyen, sorry,
as relates to the deal. But you know what?
And
At the end of the day, they are
You're listening to
setting
Joe
the
Petty
bar
too
for
much.
us in terms of AMI and what we want as a city and what we need. We always can do more. I also want to mention that.
I also,
you know,
you know how I pronounced Hermione until the
I
first
think
movie
the
came out in
presentation,
relation to the Harry Potter books?
Hermione.
One about the
Hermione. Yeah,
and I really
Hermione.
look forward to the work they're going to do. And I also want to point out
not my strong suit.
Mr. Brendan Gold over there, who's actually played basketball at Crompton Park.
You can pronounce
in
names
our
any way
city.
you
He's
want,
very
actually.
familiar, and I think that sort of commitment to Worcester.
We helped
yes, we can do better. I think what
Jess's
we need to see
grad school group, they
as we
did a
move forward
fundraiser
for
show
economic
for
development,
to buy
in the city.
gender
is
affirming
that
garments for
Worcester
trans
is
youth. A
continually
few weeks ago, we did a
becoming,
comedy show at Electric
a place
A's,
for
and
development.
the headline of the show,
And I
a
think
very
that the
funny
nature and the
comedian
extent
friend of
of
mine,
which,
Aaron Spencer,
we
who's
are
a trans woman, and was making fun of J.K.
these ties and
Rowling,
these
and then
tips
somebody in the
and what have
audience
you
got up and walked up on
continue to
stage and
change
showed off their full
towards,
sleeve Harry Potter
being
tattoo.
even more beneficial
It's like, I still love it. I'm proud of it. And then Aaron was like, "Oh yeah, how long did it take you to beat the video game?" Like trying to make fun of her. She's like, "I beat it twice already." Like, okay, lady.
Mr. Chairman,
See ya.
This is a project that, as Mr. Dunn referenced, has been in the pipeline for
Yeah, I love Star Wars for future cat ladies.
former city manager at Augusta.
Harry Potter rules.
I've personally done a lot of homework and research.
You know, you can still like it. You're allowed to still love it. It's just, and like, get tattoos. Like, as somebody that day pointed out, like,
And I just want
the tattoo money goes to a tattoo artist. It doesn't go to J.K. Rowling. So get all the fucking tattoos you want, but don't continue to give her money. Like, don't buy the video game, steal it. Don't buy the books. Don't pay for the movies. Just, if you care about them, just keep your mouth shut and fucking watch them on a pirate.
Mr.
You
Dunn in
know?
the last few days, looking
Yeah.
at the proportion
It's
of
easy.
housing, the one
Wear a
bedroom
bag
versus
over your head if
two-bedroom
you're going
and
down
so
to Universal
on.
Studios.
The idea that we're not pushing the envelope to incorporate or meet the needs of folks is disheartening.
I refuse.
And I think that we have
The only thing that I'll read for adults
really
is Joe Petty's copy of the Alan Moore Swamp Things. Let me borrow.
Is that where that is?
Yeah.
He said I can get it next.
For their efforts in that and for being open-minded.
Hey, I just read this book called From Hell, thinking about joining a Masonic lodge.
I mean, it was unanimously voted here at council. And then pushed into
I think I might start taking up surgery.
And then in the Economic Development Committee, unanimously supported.
I think Joe Petty's a Saga fan.
I think that
he likes
big time. Who is it?
Yeah.
Economic Development Committee. And those of us,
Yeah, buy local. Get into cooler, nerdy children's stuff too. Like, there's a whole Redwall series that you can be like obsessed with. You know?
Yeah, read Berserk.
To meet the needs of our,
Lose your mind a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Get kind of freaky with it.
Get into Animorphs. Get like weirdly into Animorphs.
Flexibility throughout that process. And I also want to commend.
This is Mo Bergman. That's a great point. That's what Sean's doing right now. It's just running interference for the city, and we should all just send him a Venmo request for our rent.
Again, I want to remember they're not expected to.
Redwall fucking rules. I found that series when I was like in 3rd grade, I think. And I was really excited about it, and it's just like it's woodland creatures that are living in like medieval times, and it's just like they just kill each other and stuff. It fucking rules.
So
and
fucking good.
I was like, I was super into drawing at the time, and so I drew my teacher a picture of like the cover of one of the books. She's like, "Oh, I'm really excited to see it. Thank you." And I handed it to her, and it's just a mouse cutting off other mice's head. She's like, "Oh, this is really nice."
This project is in my district.
It's so crazy.
Has been a real.
I loved Animorphs too.
Who live in this
Should be against the law to put this woman on the screen. I'm so sick of looking at her.
I also want to stand.
Can somebody put that forward?
Dehance.
No, computer, do not enhance.
Here in the city of Worcester, making it so,
Oh God, stop rocking like that.
The jiggle.
Affordable housing for folks. I think that we've talked about this.
For anybody that is a Redwall fan, go on. If you're on Twitter still, there's an account, a bot account called Redwall Feast Bot that just tweets out random descriptions of the feasts that they would have, which is like a huge part of the book. They're just every like couple hours, there'll just be a random like paragraph. And it's very, it's so great. He originally wrote them he worked at a school for blind children. And so he wrote these books to tell them like the stories. And so they're just like, it's incredible writing that they're like sending towards like second graders. I think it really it was my personality until I was like in 6th grade, I think.
I wonder why I became a furry.
They didn't need to.
You know?
But they believe in this city and they believe in what we
That book to Furry Pipeline.
What's it called again? Nobody's talking about this.
The Redwall series?
Redwall, yeah.
They never said
the Redwall to Furry Pipeline.
That's off the table.
Can only get off to badgers and otters now. Well, otters is a little bit.
And to work as a neighborhood
over. That's what I'm working with, and I didn't even read Redwall.
This neighborhood has lived with this blighted area.
I want to answer this as delicately as possible, but the fact that there are developers in the room right now might be accounting for why Candy is dressed like this.
And do we always want more? Absolutely. We always want more. Can we use more? Absolutely.
Gotta show him some skin.
She is showing more cleavage than she typically does.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that in general.
Not judging. I'm just making an observation that she made a choice tonight in her wardrobe.
For us as a city.
Is Kate Toomey getting a foot rub somewhere? This seems like something that she'd speak up on.
She'd be like, I think we should just order tiny homes off the internet.
Hopefully, I think when we voted unanimously,
this development actually more cops.
Something that
yeah
happens, which is a good thing, and I think I think there's definitely a point where everyone in this council understands that we're dealing with.
Speaking of the cops, anyone want to talk about how Paul Sears' German Shepherd murked a cockapoo?
That shit
And
was
the
awful.
animal control officer let the dog off with a week probation. It like couldn't go outside for 10 days. Because even cops' dogs are like exempt from normal laws when it comes to killing people.
Treated better than the rest of us.
Did you were able to figure anything out about the hearing for that bill?
It's animal control.
Yeah, but they do have hearings, right? I mean, are there minutes?
Right, but it's animal. No, they're it's very opaque. I texted around. I couldn't find anything about the hearings. Like, I think they're conducted on an individual basis. It's not like it's not a meeting. That's like they consider a public meeting, which might be definitely is grounds for a FOIA, but it is animal control that conducts them, and animal control is cops. And the city told Channel 5 that they didn't know that the dog belonged to a cop.
Sure.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure.
What we cannot lose focus on.
Well, it's hard to tell. It was just wildly running around and killing other dogs. So who knows where it came from?
Accordingly, which is
That must have been horrendous.
Anyone have any screenshots of psychopathic Paul Sear posts?
If this fits,
That would be useful for a project that I'm
working on.
on.
Many of us, along with community, are trying to do.
Let me see if he's on
It's not
Facebook.
saying that we are minimizing the work that's been done. We're not minimizing the investments of development. It's about that we have to deal with the crisis at hand. Thank you.
Thank you, Council Toomey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Here we go.
Thank you to everybody. Come up with the current solution.
Oh my God, what sort of dumbass shit is she about to say about
But I
this
also
stuff?
want to say that I
Oh my
also
God.
recognize that
Enhance.
we do have 1,000 more people in the city. We do have people who are underemployed right now and unemployed who are really struggling in housing. And
I
we
wanted to send her
understand
Kate
that,
on the
there are a
screen.
number of different programs that
Hi, Kathleen.
that are going to be occurring. And I was wondering if Mr. Dunn would come up and talk about some of the other ways to increase.
I'm only going back because
housing
the
options for
CC,
people.
the closed captions don't show. When I be an asshole.
What a punishing question for Peter Dunn. Can you come up and talk about every other aspect of housing affordability besides the issue at hand? And Peter's like,
Developers, please
oh,
hire me now.
So we have
he's like, I went to school for this
and
shit,
ensure
and this
that
is
there
my
are lots of
fucking
different
boss.
types of
You know,
creative
that
housing
sucks.
opportunities for people. So if you could, Mr. Dunn, explain some of the other programs that we have.
Oh my God, dude.
Through the chair to the counselor, we could talk for a long time about a lot of the, especially if we talk about state and federal as well. But as the council knows, just over the last few years in responding to the crisis, we've done 3 major public policy initiatives around addressing the crisis. And so first was a commitment of approximately 20% of our ARPA dollars towards housing programs. Some of them are similar programs to
Dude,
what we've had.
what a
under,
punishing question.
Federal dollars from HUD.
Absolutely
but some
brutal.
of them, if they look similar, they might
It's
actually
like,
be providing
oh, hey,
some
Yenni.
additional flexibility.
Hello.
So I'll use an example of lead paint. We've had a great lead paint abatement program
So-
for a long time, but there are certain requirements that you
I
need
am
to
coming
meet to
through,
use
right?
those HUD dollars. And
Yeah,
so
you sound
that's
great.
why the
Yeah,
ARPA
I can hear you.
been able to make that a little bit more flexible so that we can continue to get.
I'm just really
the lead
riveted
out
by
of
this
our
right
older
now.
Building stock.
Yeah.
And then
Josh,
the second kind of
you
piece
remember
of
when we were doing the
major
Worcester
public policy
Magazine
initiatives
radio
we've done
hour,
is, creating
and that
enforcement
guy
for
called in and
trust
told
fund.
us that
So
he
a
was
lot of
the
that
one
initial
who
capitalization has been
painted
ARPA
the
dollars, but now
horse's
with the Community
balls red
Preservation Act, we'll be
on
able
that
to
statue
capture
next to the old
that
courthouse.
into the future. And
Do you
in
think
terms
he
of
was
access
like,
to
do you think
yeah.
that was real?
dollars, we've had certain requirements.
I think
for
that
around
it
the
was
greatest needs
because
that
he
exist
gave
in
a
the
very
and some
vivid
projects
description
that have
of how he
Somebody
went
had to
down with a
do it.
bucket of red
some
paint.
additional projects.
I thought it kind of felt a little like a stolen valor situation, so I wasn't fully sure.
Now, accepting
I was so quick to
applications
believe
are
him.
out there in the
And,
community
you know,
and know of a potential
I respect
project.
that you
I
held
got
out your
fired
judgment.
before I
Like,
could vet this story.
We're accepting applications as
That's the
received,
kind of
as
thing that you
available
want
for
people
that.
to know,
And
or
then
you
obviously
get
the third
credit
major
for
public
it.
policy kind of initiative would be the inclusionary
Right.
So
zoning.
it would be on my
really tackling
resume.
it in terms of resources, sort of the carrot, and then with the stick as
We
well.
investigated it and found out that the guy who called into our program and said he painted the horse's balls red did not, in fact, paint the horse's balls red.
It was actually orange.
Here in the city that are tackling the production of housing.
They have been red as long as I've lived in the city, which is
It's true.
beyond now.
It's kind of like a startling thing that everyone independently has come to realize just driving through Lincoln Square that the balls are red and everyone knows it and no one talks about it and everyone comes upon this information independently because we're all like, oh, look at that statue of a horse. You gotta see what
I
this junk
appreciate
is.
that the reaction is just
was wildly successful.
Okay, so next time you're coming down Highland Street to get on 290 and you go past the old courthouse, look up at the horsey guy in between the courthouse and the road, and look at his testicles.
Done a lot of
They're going to be bright red.
getting folks
Bright
access
red.
to
Somebody painted them
resources,
red.
and I believe they're out of money right
I was in
now.
a meeting with the developers of the courthouse project,
resources into mass
and
streams, but we kind of
yeah, I made
realized
the developer
that,
promise
we're
that they
trying to
wouldn't
kind of see what
sandblast
else
the
is out
horse's
there in
balls.
terms of the whole ecosystem.
That was really embarrassing for the rest of the people who were in the meeting, but he took it kind of seriously, and you know, whatever. The paint remains.
Doing the Lord's work.
You're welcome, Worcester.
Computer enhanced.
Computer enhanced.
Just in terms of the crisis.
Wait, can you actually enhance that? This is going to be a fun exercise in enhancing.
So we dedicated about
Is that enhanceable?
$9 million.
Because I can already see it.
to
You can see the
Not
red.
the same. Not the same way.
Administered through our
Ah.
housing agency partners, our community-based partners in the community. So that's been a huge
That's
help.
extract. That's so funny.
The state has been doing a good job with the.
Oh, honey, look at the horse's balls. What color are they? Bill said to check.
And we're trying to figure out if we're going to come out with a program, what currently exists, and how does something that we're trying to do relate to that context, and try to.
I love how Kate Toomey asked this question of Peter Dunn,
and so,
and
as I mentioned,
she's going to
hopefully we'll have
absorb precisely none of this
ideas to
information.
share with the council in the next month.
Definitely. This is just eating up time.
Absolutely
none of it.
The vast resources.
System nomad, they are indeed the balls of truth.
Is very helpful. And I know that going on the economic development website, I know there's a lot of it on there. I'm sorry, I should have asked you to say that. One of the questions I have regarding this particular development and the other part of the housing
Bless you.
issue and affordability. How
I
many
can't wait to
jobs
see where this
are,
question goes.
Going to be created with this construction?
Mr. Dunn?
Wow, what a
Please
policeman.
kill me. I don't have that off the top of my head. I forget if it's in the package here.
What if Peter Dunn just went, however many it takes to build the building? What do you want?
It's going to be usually just is about a 20 to 24.
I assume there'll be project managers, bricklayers, I don't know.
And then as
I assume there'll be a carpenter. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting
You can
closer.
see 'em.
That would be at the property would be
They're red. They're red, baby.
They're red.
So really the 8 to 10 focus on like what are the housing opportunities being created, where versus the program is a little bit more focused on the long term.
We're doing the Lord's work tonight, friends.
Wanted to also ask, how many of the construction jobs are going to be local?
Same color as Kate's sweater.
There's a desire
Huh,
to do
coincidence?
That.
Yeah, that's true.
To have folks here. I
Wake
know
up,
there are
people.
A lot of efforts. I know the carpenters are providing all sorts of training programs for people. They're looking for
Wake
folks.
up, people.
I know that there are a number of programs through Mass Hire that are looking to
Evidence of the
provide free
globalists.
training for plumbing and for electric and all of that. So I mean, there's
So
a
how
lot
much
out
of the
there,
agenda have we
and
actually
so I
gotten
wanna make
through?
sure that
We haven't started yet.
Oh,
letting
very
people
little.
know
Extremely
that this is
little.
also
We are
This is
on.
15 something that they took out of order.
training and having the opportunity.
Yeah, and this
Yeah.
is the first one they did.
They have the
After they
It's all part of a big picture.
They did a
Had
really
the
long
big
time giving out
conference
keys.
circumstance.
It's a lot,
Yeah.
a lot involved in this.
Sure, through the chair to the councilor, I know.
I was
one of the things
driving
that's also great about,
up
the
to
commitment
Boxborough
of this particular
to
developer that I know most of the
jump
council
John's
is
car
familiar with
because our
what we
car
mentioned
we
in
have the
the
same
packet, but,
model,
as you know,
and it decides to just discharge,
of the TIF
you know,
policy, making
and
TIF
not have
entire
any
policy,
power
making that
as a
stronger.
hybrid.
I
That,
hate it when
that
that
works
happens.
fantastically.
Now, but in
Um,
advance of that, or in
Should rub it
But,
on your hair.
I
and stick
get-
it on the wall.
to that latest
We've
edition
always
of
had
the
problems getting
stronger,
AAA to
and
come
so
out
that has
there.
our goals
So of
for,
course, the one
communities
time
within
that I
a
actually
30-mile radius,
start driving up there,
goals, one of the
AAA gets
changes
there
or updates to that
before I
are
can.
goals for minority business enterprises, women business enterprises, and then the workforce goals for during the construction.
Is what it
who's
is.
actually
Ain't that
out
That's why I was
there.
late.
Project, and that came out of the disparity study, as you know. So we have goals for local residents in the workforce, as well as people of color and women. So all of that will be part of this
There
equation.
it
And
is.
so we've had some great initial kind of kickoff meetings.
Wow,
with
Peter
them.
Dunn, big news, playing outdoors at the Palladium this summer.
That the local company.
Wow, that's
built
awesome.
Project, and so we feel strongly that they're kind of off on the right foot as it relates to the TIF policy, and so looking forward.
Couldn't
to
get
that. We
couldn't
just
get
had a meeting
Foxfires
today,
on that
actually,
bill,
with our
huh?
Construction
Your
endeavors.
close
Oh
personal
no,
friendship
it's a
with
real
Peter
shame.
Dunn.
We couldn't do the band in the bubble thing. It's tough. It's real tough.
Construction, setting the right expectations. And they've been a great partner in that effort as well.
Well, thank you very much.
That
and I
poor
appreciate
bastard.
all the work that everyone did to make this go forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Kate.
Yeah, that was a riveting waste of everyone's time, Kate. Thank you.
And listening to the city of Worcester, then making the
I'd like to thank the gremlin rubbing her toes as we speak under the desk.
Committee, Sean Rose and the committee for what they've done to bring this forward, and just amending over the couple of weeks before we even came into this room tonight. And also looking at the environmental issues too, trying to address our green plan. So you've been very attuned with what's going on here at the city government. So much appreciated, and I just want to thank the city manager's team.
I really hope that our assistant city manager is made to speak
a long
tonight.
time, at least for a couple of years, trying to get this right.
Because I've never met that guy. I don't know who that guy is.
And we've been working on. We
But
recognize we
people
have
are thirsty for him in the comments.
here in the city of Worcester, not just in Worcester but nationally.
That's true. He was identified as a hot guy, contributing to my ongoing theory that City Hall is governed by the gatriarchy.
Your torch tonight was the key in the city council meeting for the last.
The ratio of hot guys.
I just want to thank you.
Hey, did you guys see Nico's getting $180,000 in his contract? That's on the agenda tonight. Yeah, that's more than city managers in a lot of places.
Councilor Bergman?
Yep.
He's doing everyone's
Granted,
job.
he does do a shit ton of stuff.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. Good for him.
Like that is not an easy job to have.
Councilor Rose?
Yes. That paper, Nico.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
And Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Yeah, it's $180,000, and your job is literally just dealing with 11 of the stupidest people in the city every week.
He's worth every penny.
So it's a lot more than 11. He has to deal with all of the people who contact City Hall for anything. He has to deal with all the idiots in the city.
Motion to adopt. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Hi, thing.
Petitions 8A. We're going to refer the Department of Public
I
Works.
ran out of photos of Nico.
8B to 8F. Before the referring now to Public Works, we have 8B. Council.
Could you take out 8D? I'd like to speak on that.
8D.
Oh, Russell wants to speak out on 8D.
Okay.
What is this?
8B and 8D.
No, 8D as in David.
I think Candy wanted to speak on 8D. I just I said 8D.
Oh boy, see? Bump him up to 2,000, 200,000.
8C. So we'll take out 8B and 8D. Motion was
D is in David or B is in David?
D as in David, yes.
D as in David.
Mr. Chairman, I just asked that this be sent to the superintendent and to the school committee because it deals with Roosevelt School, and I've already had communication with Mr. Allen and with the constituent. It's an issue in the parking lot layout.
Josh, I really want to. I think you might be interested in this too. I really want to start a cooking show with George
So
Russell.
I've already sent it to Mr. Allen.
Definitely.
We're gonna call it. Yeah, we're gonna call it Grilling with George. And every week we're gonna cook up the same thing. We're gonna go down to Price Chopper. We're gonna get some sausages. We're gonna toss some sausages up with some peppers and onions. And this has been Grilling with George.
Once an episode, you need him to use his classic one-liner that everybody knows and loves. Meat's back on the menu, boys.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I think that
meat's back on the menu,
that
boys.
we had talked about doing originally back a few months ago.
To Matthew's
and
point,
at
it's
any
not
rate,
just
it
bringing a
didn't
snack.
happen.
It's for having the audacity
Our
of
former
doodling
city
to stay
manager
focused.
here for the city
right,
of
right.
Worcester,
Unimaginable.
Because
The
we
horror.
can't, we can't be, accepting of people with ADHD. They're just not allowed on the city council.
Man, haven't you caused enough problems today? Come on, man.
You can say there's not another city manager who spent $100
Snacks
million
for a 4-hour meeting? Unbelievable.
in this city of Worcester.
Josie and Almonds
There's not
doing
another
this
city
thing
manager
multiple
who
times.
made sure that
There was one time where it was stroopwafel, and I had texted with them during the meeting. So there was some kind of request for all of the texts that had happened during meetings. And so my text with Sue about what they were snacking on is technically part of like that discovery. It's been FOIA'd by our only paper of note.
That were spent. There were I should say, there were very few dollars that were spent. And if I could just remind folks that during a time of the previous,
I love the dumbass like
meeting,
townie
that
feedback
the
loop
Department
that takes
of Public Works,
texting through a prayer for
those
Black Lives
were all
to mean that you can't text during
we
meetings.
now have a
Like that's the
department-
issue,
no,
is
it's
that Kate
not
Toomey was
fully
texting
staffed,
and
but,
not when she was texting.
We're pretty close to it.
It's fucking ludicrous.
And I, for one, as I've always said,
It's just the
everybody gets
there's an
to go
industry
to
in
the
Worcester
during the
of
summertime.
taking substantive
Not everybody
issues
gets to
and
go
reducing
in their
them
car
down
and go away for
into
recreation.
just
So our
towny
parks
petty
are
bullshit
really the
that doesn't
lifeline
matter, and
of
so it's
the
easier to talk
city
about.
for our families.
You know,
go ahead. I really hate to hop in here, but I just want to say that was just one of the most beautiful things I've ever heard Candy Muriel Carlson ever say, where she just said, "Not all of us get to go to the beach during the summertime." And I didn't know she was writing Bob Dylan songs here, but this is incredible.
Along with the library. There's nobody who
Oh, here we go.
spent as much time, energy, and quite frankly,
Name the
resources,
street
finding
after
resources
Anagostas.
to make our library here in the city of Worcester really second to none. So it's
Not
easy-
everybody.
Yeah, it's a
gets to
great
go to the
building.
beach.
It'd be lovely if they updated their amount that they verify for parking so that people can still park for free, despite the fact that they increased the prices for the lot.
Yeah, to like
Hey
20
Matt,
bucks.
hey Matt, a thing for you.
about doing anything
I think we should name a street after O'Brien's dog, Ruby.
that needs to be brought
Ruby
forward
Ridge
to
or
us,
something like that.
As a city council. But
Candy
as
Muriel
a
Carlson right now is like,
counselor, I think
my
we can
pushing
all
for this
agree
has
how
nothing
much
to
the
do
city moved
with
forward
any
under
sort of
Ed
political
Augustus's
blackmail
tenure.
going on
So I
between
stand
me
here tonight, quite
or
honestly,
Ed
I stand
or
here
anybody
proud to
else,
say
and
that,
it's because he was good at his job, and that's the
great
only reason. There was no glad handing, there was no political
Yeah.
blackmail.
I don't need help
I'm
keeping
not
my-
I'm
my
not getting
seat.
anything in exchange for this.
has grown by leaps and bounds, and the membership going into that library door on a regular basis over there is really something that we as a city should celebrate. So, again.
You know what they should name it then? Like Library Way or something. Like celebrate.
Yeah, right, the library.
I'm not going to argue with anything that Councilor Merrill Carlson said, but a few months ago, I had asked for a process around naming things, public spaces, monuments, et cetera, et cetera. Councilor George Russell had a good question when the Albanian community came here and asked for an honorary, road. The question was, what happens if other community members ask
Fuck.
for the same thing?
You know what
I
I
don't
just
think
realized?
that
We're gonna have to be
arguing on the
talking
merits
about
of
this for
naming
2
anything.
fucking
I think
hours.
that for me personally, we should have a process
Ugh.
in place and
They're
outline
gonna
in
keep
place
going.
a committee with
They're gonna
proper
just keep going on
structure,
this
proper
for
requirements.
so long.
If a person is making a difference, what is to say that
All right. I mean, they can name it Ed Augustus
standards
Route 190
naming
Turnpike or whatever if we get to just move on.
I don't have an issue with I do have an issue with the
Okay,
fact
you
that
can
we
do what
have
you want as long as I never have to hear about it again.
how are we naming and what is the process and what are the criteria?
I feel like we also need to like come up with a way to like unname things because of like what they're having to do with the Tappan Zee Bridge in New York with the Mario Cuomo Bridge. They're now trying to like backtrack naming it after him. So like, what if something comes out about someone we've named something?
Right, like Ed Augustus.
Sound Dog has a lot to
Ed
say
Augustus.
about that.
Yeah. Briscoe no likey.
Opposed, so ordered.
I miss seeing Briscoe at the park. I gotta start bringing.
Oh wait,
Sarah
we
back
moved
to the
on.
park.
Installation of a pickup after
I have not been in
okay.
quite some time either. Actually, I'm gonna let him in real quick.
signage and
Did they hold it?
Oh no, that was Briscoe, not Tara. Tara's being quiet, and just kind of resting on the couch.
I need to take another look at the agenda to see what happened there. I think it was just referred to committee.
I think okay.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, so it's going to Public Works, so it'll be back.
Yeah.
This isn't that
Oh,
last we've
great.
heard of Ed Augustus Way.
No.
Matt, get down
Not
there.
at all.
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
And if Walter Bird is there, get him kicked out of that shit too.
19th.
Yeah.
Mental Health Week. Okay, we'll send that to the clerk. Remind the mayor.
We love to see a dog on camera. Oh, there he is. Briscoe.
Oh, good boy.
Next up is Terry Kelly, requesting council request city manager to stop sweeps.
The solution to stupid street names is randomly generated 8-digit numbers.
Sanitation
Yes.
such as trash, human waste.
This is an interesting item. Terry Kelly, absolute legend.
Councilor
We could
Rivera,
just
Chairwoman
number
Ms.
and letter
Clark,
everything
if
instead.
you mind, I would love to send this to the Public Health Committee.
Totally okay with
The
that.
wrong way, both ways. Love it.
Terry Kelly requests the city manager requests.
They make those OFO bikes make such beautiful decorations at the bottom of Beaver Brook.
The heron is pissed.
I saw a retrofitted OFO bike today on Hamilton Street.
Yes.
My brother has one in his garage.
Mr. Chairman, I mean,
That's so sick.
unless you think this actually,
He's not in town anymore, so I can say that Sam Bonacci stole it and gave it to him.
I think kind of the city manager.
What a disastrous little move there on the Chamber of Commerce's part to just drop like 500 like cheap Chinese bikes in the middle of Worcester and be
Mr.
like,
Chairman,
yeah, people will use these correctly.
I really appreciated how in and out they were. They didn't give it like a lot of time. It was like, well, this fucking doesn't work at all. See you later.
Like,
They yanked it right away.
like city bikes in New York are like it took a while, but they're like part of the infrastructure now. You know?
Yeah, right.
Even like bird scooters and stuff are like worse, but like still are utilized. You just have to give them time. But of course,
Yeah.
it's Worcester, so everybody waits too long to start something and too quickly to destroy it.
Petition to rename Exchange Street OFO Way.
We should. Oh my God, we should file that petition. Petition to rename Beaver Brook OFO Brook.
Terry Kelly requests city council requests city manager conduct criminal record review for all independent contractors that work for the city of Worcester.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that when it comes to these sorts of items, we have to tread cautiously. The last thing we want to do is engage in some sort of.
The thing about Worcester, though,
Wait, what do
is,
we need to tread cautiously
folks
on?
that have challenged
we're on the petition.
We have a process in place, but that really should actually be a protected class, perhaps within itself. I know that out in the sheriff's out in Attleboro area has even reduced some of the limitations as relates to folks' queries to ensure employability.
Oh, it's 8T.
And again,
request
I
city
think
manager
we
conduct
do
criminal
have
records
processes
review
in
for
place
all
in
independent
HR,
contractors.
and that we
Right.
should not
This
be,
one.
targeting folks
Or S.
who have challenged Corey. So my motion would be to file 8S and T.
Bicycles, nothing happened about the bicycles. We were just reliving the halcyon
Mr.
days
Chairman,
of
I
OFO bikes.
was going to get up and say the same thing because we actually do Cory checks, but we do take people. We are taking some people with that are formally have some charges.
K2Me, you work for the people who put
and-
people in
and,
jail.
I have to concur with my.
That's why she's into it. She's gonna shuttle them straight to the police
formally
station.
incarcerated individuals. There's a lot of folks that have made some.
There is
mistakes,
nothing worse than the posturing of somebody in the sheriff's department that they care
drug
about
possession or
incarcerating
whatever
people.
that have gone
Right.
out
It
of
drives me
jail.
up a fucking wall.
Um,
Your
it's
entire
more
job is
something
to make sure that they stay there.
They shouldn't be prevented from working. And
Miserably.
That's really an important factor.
Right.
That's your whole job.
Yeah. And I
To
know-
try and catch
I know
them
that,
and put them back in
a
jail.
number of
That's her
folks
whole
taking a
game.
look at,
If there's no more prisoners, you don't have a job.
that's exactly
Your job
what
is reliant on the misery of prisoners. Shut the fuck up.
Sounds almost. What is that thing called?
But Lou Evangelitis is tall.
We should name a street after him, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
He's so tall, he should have a street named after him.
How about this? Lou Evangelitis Brook.
Oh, 9A was held. Thank you. 9A was held. We got 9B to 9I.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
Adopt. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
How about the street that's like a block or so off of the courthouse? That's like super steep.
George Street?
That would be a good
Oh
one.
yeah, that's a good one. Hey, how about one of those private roads that looks like it's from Fallujah?
You do the bike challenge up the Lou. We can call it the Lou.
Another private roads.
The George Street Challenge can be the Lou.
Yeah.
In favor, opposed, so ordered. Request to stand committee on public works. Meet with the Commissioner of Public Works and Parks to discuss the plan relative to the previously adopted order on January 7th.
I think, I'm very thankful that I work in a fake industry so that there's no background checks. It's like,
which would be done by
very, very.
You make movie magic.
It's very nice for me. Although we do have to wear ID badges on set all the time. So we're doing something. That's literally the only way. That's the number one like deterrent for people like fucking around and coming on the set is that we're all we're just wearing a badge.
I knew that was.
No one looks at them, but it's noticeable when you don't have them. So maybe the city should try that.
Again, I wanted to make sure, especially when we were trying to really look at diversification and what we were looking at, to really look at what type of curriculum.
Look at this guy holding his belt buckle suggestively.
Or at least
in the
evolving
back.
if we didn't really have one.
Why are you standing like that?
Yep.
Oh, he's going right back.
Yeah,
well, I reckon.
Well,
I reckon we got these.
He's really
We got
gripping
these
it.
developers.
Next on request of the
We got
manager,
these
request
developers that are nut. Now it's time to get mine.
permits in order to dig
Well,
safe
yep,
markers,
it's
notify
time to
the dates when work is
exclusionary zone.
Well, yeah, I guess it's about time I head down to the board and get some mozzarella sticks for Joe Petty.
He spits a big chaw spit into the recycling bin, and it does the pating noise.
When a business owner reaches out.
All this talk about the sheriff's got me feeling a certain type of way.
And then all of a sudden, out of the,
We ride out at dawn. Track down Ed Augustus and bring him to justice.
Prevents them from.
It is really funny to think about what the sheriff used to be and what it is now. Right? Like the sheriff of a western town, and now it's just like Lou Evangelitis, and no one actually knows what he does.
The city will be able to control.
He prints T-shirts and like
permits a year.
He shows up to
appearances at
meetings.
basketball tournaments.
Yeah, he hands out.
Yeah, he does like
Misery
5Ks.
Remind or communicate to utilities.
He orders custom Under Armour
You're
polo
going into a
shirts for his
business
staff.
where, work is going to prevent patrons from entering a business. At least give them a heads up so they can figure out a workaround. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Keeping the Ford Explorer in business.
Oh yeah, I forgot about the constitutional sheriff's movement. Lou Evangelitis is more powerful than Maura Healey. In fact, more powerful than the governor.
God himself.
She fell asleep.
I mean,
Yeah, that's what
who
I'm
fell
saying.
asleep?
Sign on.
K2B just chimed in, being like, I wanted to comment, but I wanted to comment on the cadet program.
Cadet program.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, I missed that one. I wanted to
Oh my God.
commend the counselor with that.
Got a lot going on.
Kate,
Definitely needed.
Your kid. Why? What possible useful thing do you have to say about the fucking cadet program?
On the
What?
other spectrum of this,
How is this going to help anybody?
I've also asked that the city manager work with the police chief.
Hey, I'm part of it.
to discuss and explore any
That's
potential
essentially what this is.
Yeah.
remedial measures the
Yeah.
civil service
She's like,
agencies
I like my little cadets.
impacting the recruitment of new police officers in the city of Worcester. And and that's
Yes, let's bring people in younger than 18 to be. What are you trying to suggest there?
Who are 33.
Hey,
the Worcester youth.
What about that?
It's going to be good.
And I believe the state.
Oh, there's an age limit.
Yes.
Okay.
Communities who are not involved in civil service.
Yeah.
Raised it up to.
You know what I should do? I think we should give law enforcement types their own specialized high
I'd
school
also like them to
where they can
investigate
get
perhaps,
fully drenched and
lateral
soaked in the Punisher logo
transfers,
propaganda
are
movement of
impacted
American
by
policing
this,
and come out like real psychos right out of the bat, like
but it
before they
only
even have a
makes
year or
sense.
two on the job. They'll just be shooting dogs all over the city, ripe age of 18.
Don't listen, Briscoe.
He's a mean man.
He's
never gonna happen. Don't worry.
We are on E. Request manager, request director, transportation, mobility, provide council with a.
I did shows with Bobcat Goldthwait earlier this year, and people kept being like, "Hey, how come they don't remake Police Academy? They should do a new Police Academy." And he's just like, "Yeah, because you know it's like super fun and lighthearted these days. Cops."
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Prior to offering any thoughts on this, hope it will be permissible. I have a message from.
Imagine trying to remake that movie for the modern times.
Oh my god!
You could not do it.
It would be a horror movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Her name is Maya Desai. She's Worcester resident.
The sound
That's kind of a good
effects
idea.
that one guy makes when they're beating the black guy. It's gotta be so good.
Improvements to sidewalk and road conditions to support accessibility and safety.
I didn't hear all that, Travis, but I don't know if I want to.
I'm eager to see sidewalk conditions.
Yeah, it's probably better that way.
In particular, can support many young people to use them to go to and from Burncoat High School, Middle School, Thorndike Road School, Wawikis, and Burncoat Preparatory.
For real.
Support the number of people who use those sidewalks for recreation and public transportation.
RoboCop is a
Intersection
sympathetic
of Rexham
figure
and
for our
Burncoat is
times.
poorly drained. Lots of kids are walking through puddles.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
he's
on rainy day. I'm eager to see
exploited by the police and by corporations
and
at
for
once.
crosswalks to be well marked and sign.
Do you? It's like the drones. Do you think the drones that just become under the employ of Worcester want to hunt out homeless encampments? Do you think they want to do that?
No, they want to be in a racing league and flying through like football stadiums in the off season.
For going on
Yeah.
as long as I've been
Then they tore their ACL in high school. Sad story.
Do to address walkability. And
It's a classic story of the
very
American
important
policing,
corridor
honestly.
district, arguably the city.
Man, Verhoeven's
Many
like
schools are connected
the
areas
sickest
of,
director.
Space. I think
Yeah.
we should do our diligence in doing
Starship
so.
Troopers is real life in America in 2023.
Everyone like that's like he always got knocked as being like cartoonish.
Yours
Like,
too, Mr. Chairman.
Teach was just a little ahead of his time.
Who's been a part of
Yeah.
these meetings and is,
He was 10 years ahead of the Iraq War.
I think the Burncoat area.
He called it
we've seen
before it
some
even happened.
park improvements and some varying improvements on infrastructure all throughout.
No,
but this is
Matthew,
something
we
that
can't
could be
harass the
incredibly
mounted police.
meaningful
The horses
and
don't deserve that.
longstanding, in that neighborhood for years to come. To design
ACAB extends to the horses, unfortunately.
They know what they're doing.
Hopefully, bikeability.
I know it's morally uncomfortable and we
given
love
the width of
horses,
the road from my
but
research
if you're
and
going to
my
be
understanding,
ACAB, it has to
there's a good
include the
opportunity for us to do
horses.
some really great work
The
here.
horses
Of
are
course,
collaborators.
there are, fiscal
Yeah.
competition.
I don't even believe
as
that,
it
but
relates to
oh my
any
god, it's so wild we have a
I couldn't
mounted
think of
patrol unit.
They
That's
could have
just
said
so
nay at
more
any time.
important area for us to address.
Oh, damn.
In 2020.
Bada bing.
You know,
That's
I don't
that's a
fuck
real
with
slipper.
horses, but if you look over Sean's shoulder, I think there's something trying to crawl out of that grate, that air grate on the ground there that we've called attention to before. I'm not kidding. There's something moving around in there.
Enhance.
This is a priority. We're going to be resurfacing Bronco Street, I think.
Is it the Slender Man?
It could be one of Donna's rats. I don't know. There's something.
And safety issues. So, 10F,
Mo Bergman
request the
crawling
same
back
send
home.
that to the manager.
Oh my
All
God,
those in
we're only
favor,
on
those
10F.
supported. Request city manager request the Commissioner of Public Works and Parks consider whether creating and implementing traffic signal priority technology for the Worcester Regional Transit Authority bus services is warranted throughout the city. Council Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Council Hexy, I had proposed a differently worded.
So close.
Not saying.
Item.
Not even trying.
Duplicate her.
He's not.
No, see, the problem is he is trying. He's just failing consistently every single time and not learning from those failures.
As to where we are.
Well, okay, so that's an interesting
Worcester.
question.
Worcester in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he so stupid that he just can't do it? Which is the case with me.
He's insisting on
Or
pronouncing
is
the X.
he willfully not doing it? I don't know.
If it's
He is very stupid.
Bring up the water tables at Elm Park and to restore the same, Council Bergman.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I have spoken to the city manager about this, and I know he feels as I do that.
Yeah, the head is looking especially polished today.
Is that there's been some grants and contracts signed to move ahead. I haven't seen anything, and I drive by there regularly. Like
Clearly an election year.
This is a subject I think for at least the last 2 years. I believe.
Kate
Love
Tunick?
those
No, what
big
are you
shiny
doing?
domes.
Josh just got
remedied
taken
so
out.
Yeah.
Elm Park and go back to ice skating.
That's
In the winter,
that's
nothing happens.
Josh got
In
to me.
Springtime, I bring another request with high hope that
Got
people
me.
be able to use Elm Park in the summer.
I'm trying to call him. He's not answering.
Games and so on and so forth. Nothing happens. And I understand COVID certainly didn't help.
He did
get
say
it
he was going to
done.
have to leave at
We
8ish.
talk a lot as we should
And
about
he was
Yenni,
going to
we're-
go out.
Yenni, we're playing the game. We're doing the game.
This is arguably the
Oh,
oldest park in America.
okay.
It's
I
arguably
ruined things.
the
Sorry.
first park with money.
No, you made it better.
You drive by, you know, it looks terrible. It looks worse than terrible, but I won't use the word.
We were gonna pretend that he.
What word is worse than terrible?
It's not the only park in the city, but it's historically significant. You know, when I was a little bit younger, there was a commercial that was always on TV that got a lot of play.
Ice cold.
The tagline was "Where's the beef?"
It was very nice that
about
that
time.
Lyford Irish could buy
I
the
think it's
stream. I
about
really
time to
appreciate
see the
that.
contracts that are in
Yeah.
place and the work that's going to be done, because here we are, another spring, another summer, and as recently as the St. Patrick's Day parade a few weeks ago, driving by there, I honestly wanted to look the other way, because not only embarrassing for me as a
If you
as
were
a
driving,
resident,
you definitely weren't
somebody
looking where
who
you're
lives here in
supposed to
the
be.
city,
We know that
it's
for a
very
fucking
significant
fact.
to me as a city councilor. So again, I don't want to imply that the
On
city
a Zoom
manager
call.
hasn't been discussing this with me, and I know it's very much on his plate, but we need some feedback and some proof from the Public Works and particularly Parks Department that things are actually happening there.
My trophy room.
Otherwise, I'm going to keep bringing this up every season until finally.
I wonder if he'll try like a Brazzers one this year.
Sign on. Okay. Councilmember Carlson, sign
This
on.
is
So,
about fixing Elm Park. Just nobody was
City
there.
Manager, all those in favor of
The
approval?
lake and how it was supposed to
We
be.
are on
You know.
10H, request the manager make efforts to establish
Cleaned
a
up.
system permitting modifications of historic.
And the
Remember
banks
when
were supposed
It's
to be
so bad.
repaired.
It's so bad he won't look at it. Like, what
Yeah.
the fuck are you talking about?
He
dude?
finds it embarrassing.
Well, look at it.
But a more positive note as far
Of
as
all
It's
the
really
things
not
about
that
Worcester to
bad.
be
I was
embarrassed
just
about.
over there yesterday.
our history. And it seems to me that, you know, one of the more popular
Like, let's
sections
be
of
clear.
the
There are so many things to be embarrassed
you know,
about.
identifying
That's the thing you're embarrassed about?
Yeah.
pictured. And,
You
I
can
think
go
it's a
out
now
and pick
and
up
when
trash
column
now.
where you try to figure out what was that building.
You
It's
drive
like every
by the
time-
Columbus statue every day.
Some of the buildings in Worcester that have been
These
demolished.
fucking red balled horses we got downtown. and This
historically,
guy's worried
her
about a couple of
chambers named
leaves.
for Esther Holland. Her business and home was
We got red
demolished.
balled horses.
We don't have
Enhance.
We got statues of slavers.
Enhance.
named it all for. The Orion Institute, which
That's
is
all I got.
arguably the first
And a
40-year
whole
college
Plantation Street.
for women in
Yeah,
America.
right. Yeah.
We have
Owned by
Plantation
Orion
Street,
Orion Place. No
recently
longer,
reaffirmed.
Melican Bowling was
The existence of which was recently reaffirmed.
downtown. No
Yeah.
marker.
Emphatically.
More recently, Sir Morgan's Cove, where
Emphatically
the Rolling
reaffirmed.
Stones played, demolished. Tabletop
Oh my
five,
God. I
all
never want to
existed.
hear about how the Rolling Stones played in
Not
Morgan's
have
Cove ever again in
anything
my
left.
life.
To see. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't have
So
to
many,
lie.
like, the amount of people that pretend they were there is so
Using the
delightful to
TNT,
me.
even though it's an
It was a
excellent
great
Yeah,
show.
it's amazing. And the Telegram writes a story about it once a week.
Like most cities
Still,
do,
somehow.
to mark historically significant buildings that no
You
longer
guys
are
should have
there.
been
So that
there.
when people go by, they or their children
I had a
or
thing.
grandchildren look at it and say, "Wow, you know, at that location."
I was
such and such
texting
a
you
business
about
or
it.
building,
We really do need to get a city
don't have that
councilor from like a
central
real
place,
city
and I bring
in
it
here
the
to do
council's
this with us
attention
one
because I
time.
think everybody in the city was
To
not only lives
like
here,
from
but
Cambridge.
visits here would
I think
benefit
we
by such a system, and I hope
we
going
made some
forward,
headway.
that'll
Somebody
be
tagged
taken into
somebody
consideration
on Twitter
to get going on a
that said they
system
were
like that.
down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Council King.
Craig
Thank you, Mr.
Seaman.
Chairman. Very briefly, I'd like to sign on to this. I know that with the
Whoever
prior
named
meeting,
Craig Seaman did a
had
good job.
Specific discussions.
That guy
about
is
Sir
Craig
Morgan's
Seaman.
Cove.
Keep your
while
eyes on
we
that
were
grate.
doing
I'm
the
telling
Black
you, there's
History
something in there.
Trail. And at that time we were speaking about the markers and the medallions that go on the sidewalks and things of that nature. And we never kind of came to.
I just heard it
resolution.
screech. Did you hear that?
It's cool. But I think this is great. I think that the history that's been
That was
touched
Josh's
upon
final cry for help.
by Councilor Bergman is a broad array of what we have been, and I think where we're going to go as a city. So
This is gonna be like Barbarian.
I was just gonna say, Candy Carlson is Justin Long and Barbarian.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to sign on as well. But if I recall, there
Great
had been a
minds,
great
great
deal
minds.
of discussion and even designs for historic markers previously. I think.
Is she talking about this like we don't have any in the city at all?
And so if we could take
Of
a
course,
look
there's
at
no designs done.
I think
She's going to
She was
propose
there.
that we have a design
was
contest
involved in
for
that as
elementary
well as
school
public
students for
works.
markers, and
But I
then we'll
think,
forget about it for
we
15 years.
definitely had some discussions. And
there were
also,
definitely
She's
discussions
gonna.
about
I swear to God, if
Martin
she brings up
Luther King Jr.
wayfaring
was part of those
signs,
discussions as
That's
well.
what she's bringing up.
So, it's very important, and everyone's
if
absolutely
she brings
right
up
about
wayfaring
the
signs, I'm
historic,
gonna go down there and slash her tires.
significance of
Wayfarers
That's
are your
exactly what she's
sunglasses.
bringing up, and she's saying how
you
there was
know,
a discussion.
I think not only the markers, but I think having
Dude,
a virtual
are you kidding?
program that people could
Dude,
follow.
I was
along. We
on
talked about a
the
history trail.
council or the
People
public
can
arts
follow and
working
walk
group.
along and get
I
None
would
of them
love for us
understood
to have a
the
history
song.
trail.
as well. Thank you.
Still named POG, the greatest thing imaginable.
Yeah.
We actually have POG written on the sides of buildings in Worcester. And people still don't get the fucking joke.
Those stupid markers were such a pain in the ass that it basically disbanded the group. That and the stupid benches that they put out. Bye, Joe. Oh, nope, didn't mean to do that.
Joe's coming down.
Fuck you, Joe. Get out of here. You stupid government.
K2, we got to Travis too.
Assumption College on
Travis just got two mead.
Dr. Linder, and I want to congratulate him. Ended up
Save
meeting
yourself,
with the
guys.
Presidents from the college universities who attended and got to talking. And it'd be nice if he had a contact here at City Hall.
Yeah. This used to be the Notre Dame Church until we thought for a second that a developer might be interested in it. And now it'll be a vacant lot for the rest of our lives.
Turned out no.
Now it's the pit.
Some district councils meet with them depending on what district you're in. And sometimes
Yeah.
it'd be all over the place.
There's something to be said about New England and like the colonial imagination of our history that makes us very, very weirdly obsessed with like cutesy little history markers.
Yeah. But not actually protecting the things that they're signifying, at least not in Worcester.
Right. Or like examining like anything about our past that we could learn from in the future.
Yeah.
Just like, Paul Revere was here.
It also goes a long way in helping you understand that most people have no idea what terms like progressive and regressive actually mean and use them wrong constantly.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
It's an entire part of the country. It wants to hold on to like the colonial era.
Favor, opposed, so ordered. We held.
Yeah, it's like we have all the bad parts of like the puritanical, like colonial work ethic, but we've lost all the good parts.
Yeah, like butter churns.
And now we're all just sickos.
Yeah, now we fancify it and bow down to it enough to get
Thank you,
the
Mr.
stupid
Chairman.
charter
I
school
think
thing
everybody here
going on.
is very familiar
Yeah,
with
right.
the program, and it's been led over the years by
Somebody made a joke about us going and starting a charter
Wait,
school.
Manfredo? Why are they bringing up Manfredo?
modernization.
Because they're going to do a resolution in support of his book drive.
and so forth.
It's called
naming a
Worcester,
street
the city
after
that
him.
reads.
Oh my
Of course, the
goodness.
accurate version of that would be Worcester, the city that boop redacted boop
Places, but real places. I found my love
kids.
in reading books, so I think it's critically important for the success
Manfredo
of our
was
younger
right there.
generation.
But yeah, just so everyone's clear here,
A lot of people throw books away now because they don't
An
think
alleged
they're gonna be
pedophile
worth
has
anything
been
in the
running a
future.
book
I don't know
drive
monetarily, but I mean, as
in
far as,
Worcester
Mm-hmm.
for about 20 years, and now Mo
Depending
Bergman
on the house or
is
depending on the room that nobody
endorsing
wants.
it and
Quite
getting the
frankly,
city council
I
to
don't know
vote
where
on a
you drop books
resolution
off other
to
than, this book
reaffirm
drive. I'm sure there
its
are
existence.
locations, but I don't know where they are, and I know this is a specific.
Just
attempt
Google
to make
John
sure that
Manfredo
books like these don't get
2007
lost or thrown
Telegram
out,
and
but rather
Gazette.
they get.
The headline is Mo
get
Bergman,
donated for a very
comma,
worthwhile cost. So I just
child
hope we all,
molester, comma,
recognize the importance of the
give
program.
books to
There's
kids.
a little bit of free
19
association poetry going on here right now, which is John Manfredo pedophile Mo
collect those
Bergman
books, and the fact that we're approaching 1 million
resolution.
books speaks for itself as far as how successful the program has been and how much hard work has gone into that program. So I hope we can all resolve.
So Baltimore used to do the
those
City That
efforts
Reads
and
program
do
as
what we
well,
can to support
and because they actually have a sense of humor, people would go around at night and change all the R's to B's.
Roll call vote.
But it was like this really well nuanced joke because then people would read it and say, "Ah, what's the city that breeds?" Like, no, it's breads, you fucking asshole, and that's the point.
Yes.
There's still, if you go to Baltimore, you'll still see bumper stickers on like city vehicles that
advertise
the city that
the city that breads.
Councilor Gloria.
Yes.
Councilor G.I. Councilor King.
Yes.
Councilor Carlson.
Yes.
Councilor Nguyen.
Yes.
Councilor Rivera.
Yes.
Councilor Rose.
Yes.
Councilor Russell.
Yes.
Councilor Toomey.
Yes.
And Mayor Petty.
Yes. 13B, the motion is
Everyone
referred to the
voted
MO committee.
yes.
Councilor Russell.
The things people will do for a $25 check.
Chairman, before we send it to committee, I hope it does go to committee.
Oh, new angle.
Wow. Georgeception. We got a good Georgeception.
Look,
This is
thank
a
you for-
quality.
Did you guys see what's on Tuesday?
George Doubleception. Let's go.
No, what's on Tuesday's desk?
I think it was a big box of troll candy.
That's awesome.
In the election.
That's so sick. Way
I
to double
really
down.
hope it is.
You
Let's
always
get a
double
shot.
down.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe part of it-
Always double down. Somebody makes fun of you for having snacks. You're going to Market Basket. You're bringing a bunch of snacks.
even
I will
longer
become
as a community
snack.
activist, someone that worked in campaigns and all that kind of stuff. Well, I know the history of the city clerk's involvement with the elections. I know how the city clerk reports to the election commission. I understand all that stuff. But my memory is when Susan Ledoux was appointed city clerk by this council. In fact, I was on the municipal operations committee at that time. I think Councilor Bill Carlson, I think was the.
Hey, you know
chairman
what's
of that
suspiciously
committee.
not on the agenda
And
today?
my memory was that Susan
The executive
Ledoux
session with
part of
the
her-
police
her
unions
request
for
was-
body camera
was that not
contracts.
only did she want to be city clerk, but she wanted to.
I wonder if they resolved
have
that.
us appoint the two city.
I think it did get resolved.
A bottle and
Otherwise, it would be back on there.
as the second assistant city
Yeah.
clerk.
Ruth.
I mean,
I'll hold on that
it
one.
was probably a whole bunch of people on the, aware of the world end of things going, no, this is stupid. It's your job. Just do it. And the rest of the city council being like, yes, we'll give you a bonus for wearing a camera. Here you go.
Part of the conversation.
Yeah, my money's on that they got the bonus.
Right.
Oh, yeah, they definitely got the bonus. There's no way that the police union walked out of there without a bonus on that. The police union here is too strong.
The thing that I have a concern about is because, and it's just
Yeah.
me. I don't know if my colleagues all feel this way, but because
Ruth,
It's almost
there's
like
a
they're a
story
gang
that
extorting
there's
the
a story
city.
quite frankly, in
that
making
Bill was
sure
featured in
that
by
staff
a
and
reporter
board
at GBH that was
are
talking
able
about the craziness
to
of city council
work in
meetings in
different,
Worcester.
roles
And two was
about
featured in the story as
some
well,
ladies
and they were
or
talking
some
about
sick or
how
whatever.
brutal it is to try and sit
Mr.
through
Chairman,
a meeting in the
I
room and
just
how
believe
they
that
have resorted to
item of
snacking
the,
and
assistant city
doodling.
clerk,
And
should be the
Walter
body
Bird
of the city
and Matt
council
Wally
for
are
a courtesy
fucking
vote,
pissed about that,
or
and
it should have been
went on the radio
called
this
the
morning
assistant city clerk.
and called two
If it
out
was
and
called
said that
the
they are
director of
immature
elections, if it was
and
called,
that they
supervisor,
possibly
if it was
don't
called
belong
anything
on
other
city
than
council
assistant
because of
city
it.
clerk, I wouldn't even
And
be
two
upfront
was like,
about
yeah,
it.
fuck you guys, shut the
But
fuck up,
I just think it's
losers.
a matter of protocol. I think it's a matter of.
You know what's also funny about that is that story's more than a week
and that's
old.
the kind of conversation that
Why were they talking about that? Today.
Municipal Operations
Yeah.
Committee level.
Because
Now,
Walter Bird just got the
you don't have to be
notification
Columbo,
like
as
over
I
the
said
weekend
before.
because he
You know,
doesn't
when
have
you look
his.
at the
He probably
documentation,
like forgets
Dude,
his Twitter
that's-
the city
password.
clerk's name.
That's so
that we
pathetic.
didn't
That
take
guy
a
used
vote
to
on was
edit
on the station.
a
You don't
newspaper.
have to be Columbo.
Like an important newspaper.
With the clerks.
Yeah, and he was.
staff and the
I mean,
Board of
he was
Registration,
awful at it.
the Board
But
of
like that was his
Registered
job.
Voters, and
I still laugh at the fact that
that we voted on
so
here.
as
here.
some of you
So,
may
I
know,
mean,
some of you may not. I was
it
the
is what it
regional.
is.
I was one of the
And
regional
again,
organizers for
I'm not
Andrew
saying
Yang's
the clerk's
presidential
doing a bad
campaign.
job. I'm not- in
Walter
fact, I think
Bird
they did a good job.
was
I
the
supported his
deputy
raise last week, 'cause I thought he wasn't doing a good
press
job. I
director
wouldn't
for
vote
New
for him,
Hampshire
but
for the
I do
campaign.
think it's a matter
There
of
was
protocol.
no
so
press
funny.
director,
That should have
and
been
they
before
refused to promote him to
position
press
should have been
director
called
versus deputy
assistant
press
clerk.
director.
You know, we've
He's a
seen
moron.
that
Like
person
he just,
has been appointed.
they wanted to find
And
someone
I
better than
think
him and
it's
couldn't
some of
put
the
someone
meetings that we
above
had in
him.
the
So he
community,
got like kind of
acting as a
defaulted
clerk
into the
on
role.
the neighborhood outreach
It's
district.
so
I don't know if
fun.
it's better than
And
the
so
community.
there was
I
also
welcome that. I think it's
Matt
important
Matt
that
started a
the staff that
firestorm
the
this
clerk
morning
has available
asking
are able to switch
why
off should somebody
Hank and
leave,
Ben
somebody
keep
not do
having
well.
Walter
So,
Bird on
but
the
I just
show
think
every
that
week
it's,
to make
you know,
appearances when
it is
he
what it
is
is. I'm
now
trying to
the
try to
campaign
understand.
manager for
send
a
that
city
to,
council candidate
cooperation.
who is in a feud with two, and he's going on the radio and speaking as like a commentator and talking shit about two. And so it became an argument. And I really do agree, Matt. You were absolutely right to ask the question. Everybody who's kind of right to slam them on it. It's like
Take that with 17A, which is
he's coming on as a representative of a campaign now, so you shouldn't have him on. It's not a good look, and it's a little unethical. It's not illegal, but it's unethical. And also, the number one reason not to have him on the show is that everything he touches fucking turns to shit. So you shouldn't want that for your radio program. The guy is poison.
And his and the comeback on that was, but we need someone on the right, and I can't find anyone else on the right who's willing to be on our show that knows stuff about the city. And I'm just like, we have a Republican city committee that's more active than our Democratic city committee.
We did
There are people out there.
14.
Yeah, they're making Red Metro Worcester videos.
I'm not saying that I would want to hear anything coming out of their mouths, but they exist.
Bill, can you pull a Stephen Colbert and come up with a Republican character that calls into the show?
Councilor Bergman?
Yes.
Councilor Calorio?
Yes.
Councilor GA?
Oh yeah, that'd be
King?
awesome.
Councilor Carlson?
All right, hold
Yes.
on.
Councilor Yan?
Yes.
Oh, your name is
Yes.
Red Metropolitan.
Councilor Toomey?
Yes.
Mayor Petty?
Yes.
Yeah, my name's Fred, and I'm from Saugus. Calling in a Worcester. I gotta work on this one.
Fred Metro.
Fred from Saugus. Yeah, my name's Fred from Saugus. I run Red Metro Worcester.
All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 16D to 16.
I started paying attention because I'm like Gaffney.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'd
and I
like
still live in
to
Saugus
pull
on a
out
golf course.
16D and ask for
In a
that
condo.
to be recommitted.
They are trolley
back
candies. That's
to
incredible.
the committee.
I love it.
16D.
I love it. That is so perfect.
You're incredible.
Oh, motion is accepted. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered. 16D is recommitted to the Traffic and Parking Committee. All those in favor, opposed, so ordered.
It's so sick.
Everybody go send to a DM right now.
There's a standing meeting. Anybody have anything? And
tell them how incredible they are.
This way this time. So all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. And don't forget the Red Sox opening day is on, you can believe, March 31st. Hopefully the weather turns, but on this Friday, 3 o'clock.
He's announcing a Red
Thank you, Mr.
Sox
Chair.
game?
Yesterday, there was an incredibly tragic shooting that happened in Tennessee. And
Oh, boy.
just
Here we go.
absolutely
Fuck.
unspeakable,
Come on.
unthinkable. And just terror is in every parent's hearts. And what made it worse was that
shut the fuck up,
today in Massachusetts, over 28 communities received swatting calls, which basically people were calling into various schools saying that there was a shooter in the school. which creates lockdowns, which creates terror in parents and all sorts of things. And it's something that we need to be aware of. And I'd like to request that the manager, along with the chief and the superintendent of schools, work together closely to come up with a good plan to deal with this, because this is 28 schools.
A good plan to deal with this?
28 communities receive phone calls today.
Do you not think they? Do you think they don't have plans?
Get ahead of it. Thank you.
Oh my
Come up with a
goodness.
good plan to
Subtle,
do it.
Kate.
This could have been an
Subtle.
email.
We do have a plan that we do address these when they come in, but I'm not.
Yeah,
sure
she was literally just being like, "You got to put the cops back in
I know
schools."
who makes those calls, and yeah, I'm not talking about Worcester. I mean, yeah.
That's.
So it's
I think
important
the
that you
total
like to
now
find
is
out who
up
actually does
over 100 schools that have
We're gonna send
received
that to
SWAT
the
calls in
manager.
the last
Those in
month
favor, opposed, so ordered.
in Massachusetts.
Also on this side.
The city of Worcester will solve prank phone calls. Prank phone calls and nuclear disarmament. We're on it.
If we could ask for speed enforcement from Brown Square to St. Francis Home.
Hell yeah.
There's a real problem on Plantation Street with speeding.
They
I've
were fairly
received
quiet
several
tonight.
calls of people almost getting hit.
I'll let the
over
candy
there.
speak for me.
No.
No, not that candy.
The other candy.
That would be great.
The awesome candy.
Thing that I have is last night going to one of the neighborhood meetings. People are pretty upset all around they're saying.
You know what would solve swatting? Getting rid of SWAT teams.
All of MassDOT's property.
Boom. Done.
Off ramp. It's the on ramp. It's
Might not be the
all
solution you
of,
want, but it's the only possible
MassDOT
one.
Property, which is at the Burncoat section there at Wawega School. That really needs to be cleaned up. I know that we, meaning the city, had a program with MassDOT that we would call them, or there was a plan in place for them to clean up in those areas. There's a lot of panhandling that takes place at that intersection, and unfortunately, nobody's picking up anything. And it's not city's property, it's MassDOT's property. So I would ask through you, Mr. Chairman, to the Assistant City Manager, if we could make sure that we contact MassDOT to ask them to clean that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so all those in favor, opposed, so ordered. Councilor Hajia?
You know what's really funny
Mr. Chairman, so
that I'm thinking about
just
now
wanted to
is that
thank the blessed
Ben
that,
White could have avoided that whole thing
Seeds of Hope.
if he just didn't tweet
Shelter closes,
that Walter
March
or Matt
31st.
Wally said that,
And,
because I don't listen to that shit.
you know,
I would have
I
never
have
fucking known.
really
It would have just faded into
thought that
obscurity.
this was probably
Like he
one of
really
the
did bring it upon
hardest
himself.
Let's find out. Matt, no, were you
things
listening to the
that
show,
happened
or did
personally,
you
but
just see the
as a-
tweet?
As a new district counselor.
Also,
and I'll tell
thank you,
why.
Beck, for keeping this
Every
wide
single
shot.
day,
This is
literally
incredible.
every single day, I question myself whether I did enough. Whether I did enough to support, facilitate, negotiate, respond,
George.
bring attention
Just
to
thinking about
issues
fish.
that
Get me
are
outta
really
here.
near and dear to my heart. But I think
I'm gonna go home by
there's a
Rebecca. I
single
go
person in this city, hopefully there isn't, that doesn't think that folks that are experiencing homelessness do not deserve the dignity of shelter and permanent housing.
Make an English.
I just wanted to share some statistics, the most recent ones that I got from the Open Sky team yesterday, because I think it speaks volumes to the incredible work that these folks have done in the last 3 months. Seeds of Hope.
Matt, what are your podcasts?
Started
What are your
with
training
65 people.
podcasts?
I believe their waiting list was over 100. As of yesterday, and probably by the end of their deadline on the 31st, they permanently housed, not rapidly housed, permanently housed 38 folks that have experienced homelessness in our city, including veterans and people that were really vulnerable to the elements and to homelessness itself. Potentially, by the time the shelter closes, that number might rise to 40. It sounds as though, even though it breaks my heart that, 12 people might
Candy's
have
texting all the
likely
developers that
places
were
to
in the
go,
room,
probably not
going
ideal places to go,
WID.
probably in overcrowded conditions, another 10 will
Wow,
probably
so
have
on
to
brand.
cross the streets.
You up?
You know, I personally.
Cameron Carlson sending that 8:23 p.m. You
I'm
up
just
text.
gonna just take off my counselor hat for a minute.
Look, we're still here. We haven't left
I'm
yet.
not saying enough. From the time that I got the call from former assistant manager Nicole Valentine, counselor, can we have this in your district? And I remember vividly getting that call and saying, yes, of course. And naively, perhaps, not thinking about the journey, the ups and downs, the all the good things, but also the challenging things that came along the way. And you know, my heart said yes, because what else is there to say? You know, this wasn't done alone on the shoulders of just one
Matt,
person.
can I pitch you a good
the
read?
Open Sky team, we took DHCD.
Have you ever heard of the Redwall
United Way,
series?
Central Mass Housing Alliance, the
You
city.
should check it out.
Heather Landry, who
Oh, the Undertow
had
is
a lot
great.
of criticism.
Don't get Brian
not
started
even
about the
get
Redwall
into the merits
series.
of
He goes full
how the
furry
process was done.
instantly.
Really faced.
I might just start.
No, I do want to check that out though.
I might start a Twitch stream about Redwall.
I remember that meeting that we had with the parish council where he said,
Redwall Book Club.
well,
Bill, do you want to read? I think I have all my books. Do you want to read Redwall, and then we'll talk about it as you read it, and there'll be a
I also want
podcast.
to say thank
Yeah.
you to the Blessed
Actually,
Sacrament parish for
Let's do it.
opening their arms to the neighborhood, to the volunteers who had
Not just that; it's also violent.
many people who, you know,
It's also full of killing.
and said,
That's like
we
a
know,
kid's furry
we
book, right?
know that you're getting a lot. We know that Father Landry is getting a lot of pushback.
Matt,
We
the
know
Undertow is
Shelby's
real
getting
good.
a lot of pushback.
Definitely
But we
recommend it.
appreciate
That book's
all of these
scary.
parties came together for a life-saving operation. This wasn't just an operation. It was a life-saving operation. 38 people are permanently housed in a housing crisis, like Councilor Rivera reminded us over and over again, in one of the worst climate in terms of housing that we've had in a long time. And yet Nahani Muse, who I deeply respect for the work that she did, Maide Morales, their entire Open Sky team showed up to every community meeting that we had. And let me tell you that those community meetings sometimes were brutal. But we stood there, we listened, we answered questions, we responded. I have personally answered and responded to all the good, the bad, and the ugly that came my way, because I wanted to make sure that people knew this is the right thing to do.
She's being raked over the coals
the shelter
in the
closes
local
on the
community.
31st,
Wayne is a
and
fucking
the last
asshole.
thing that I will say is that
Yeah,
we
Wayne
know
is
this model works, and
terrible
I
person.
have told the Open Sky team, I hope they put a
But it's
paper together
not just him.
to
It's
share
like
how,
just
organizations
I
like
went to
SMOC,
the
which I
early
know have
meetings
a
in
ton of
December.
problems,
I could
they
not
have the
go.
resources
I have
and the
not been to a
background
neighborhood
services
watch
in
meeting
the shelter system
for my
the way that
neighborhood
Open Sky was able
for
to pull together
months
through
because
a
I
lot of
can't
partnerships
handle
and a
the
lot of
vitriol
resources.
that these
We
people
wouldn't
are
see the problem,
attacking
that
Attell
they're
and
facing.
everyone
So I
who's
want to
running
give
these
them
shelters.
a shout out because they too have a role in this. Ultimately,
They did an
we talked a lot
amazing
today
job
about
with that
pushing the
shelter.
envelope, and when those tough conversations in our
Worcester,
community
for the
neighborhoods
most
come
part,
up,
is
that's when we push the
extremely
envelope
primed if
further.
you like
That's when we
raise
try to reach
the
out to
possibility
people.
of
And
doing
I'll end with what
legitimate
I started,
Nazi
is that
Germany
every
concentration
beginning
camps for
of
unhoused
the
people,
shelter
like most of Worcester
until
would be like,
Friday,
fuck
I
yeah.
will ask myself
Which is
whether
not
I
a
did
joke.
enough,
That is just the grim reality of it.
whether what I did was enough.
Worcester is
enough to
primed to just
use
not see these
every
people as
power,
human beings.
resource, emotional energy, and physical energy that I have to make sure that the 65 people that showed up at the Seeds of Hope and the 12 that are going back on the street, that they have a place to go. So I just want to thank you for showing up to some of my meetings and supporting as well.
No, thank you. And I went to the neighborhood meetings and other meetings and the guy on this issue, and I'll tell you, Council Hajjali, I don't think you could have done much more. And you get criticized for what you did do and unfairly criticized. You tried to make the neighborhood aware. You cannot reach as you learned, you cannot measure how hard you try, you're not going to reach everybody. I thought it was a good effort on your part, and I was glad to attend those meetings with you, and it made a difference, as you said, and we said at those meetings that Ken Bates and his organization saved lives.
Travis, enhance on K2 on his phone.
And
She's
so
scrolling through Twitter.
I want to thank the manager's team.
Oh, Mo's Twitter.
Enhance.
And because these are not easy issues.
As
and
far as I
never
can
will
go.
be an easy issue. And,
Is it
so
us?
Is
they
it
had
the,
no place to go. So Father Landry and
What are they
Bishop
watching?
McManus, thank you.
Somebody
I
write
appreciate it.
something incendiary about both of them right now.
Nicely done. Okay.
In the
Oh, yeah.
comments.
So that brings us to the end of the meeting.
K Toomey, what do you, WID?
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, Attell could definitely use a hug. The amount of bullshit
Yeah, big time.
that, oh my god, the amount of hours she's put in. She walks the streets weekly, like for like 5 hours a week in that area, talking to the homeowners and business owners in the neighborhood. Like she did not rest trying to make sure that this was as much of a success for the community as it could be. She did an amazing job, and literally how she handled that made me realize I can't run for office again because I physically would not be able to do that. I would not physically be able to do that for the community.
Yeah.
So I
Knowing
need to
if,
leave that job open for people who physically can handle that kind of level of thing. But like,
Yeah,
I can't even imagine the amount of stress that the past few months have been for her with all of this. So if you have any love to give, if you see her, just tell her she's appreciated because she needs it. She deserves those kinds of public thanks too.
If I was in Attell's position, I'd tell all those people to suck my dick from the back, and then there'd be a recall campaign against me like, instantly.
We don't have the ability to do a recall election here.
And we
That's
can't
not
figure out
illegal.
why Bill isn't on the tree commission.
We actually have no way to recall city councilors.
Suck
There's
my
no way to
roots
recall
from the
them.
back.
That's good to know. I guess I'll stop my petition on Mo Bergman. Well, what a long. I mean, that actually wasn't that long. It's only 8:30. Holy shit!
Yeah,
they really do have an ability to like stretch time.
Imagine if they actually did inclusionary zoning tonight. This would have been 5 hours.
God, I'd be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we kicked the Ed Augustus can down the road one for another day.
We'll see it again in about 6 months.
Yes, yeah, very excited for that. Yeah, anything coming out of this meeting, you guys?
No, Candy was showing some
watching?
skin for the developers. We love to see that. We love to see that. You just got to impress the developers.
I
Two
wanna
snacks,
read
really.
all these balls after Ed Augustus.
This episode was all about red walls and red balls.
Yeah, two snacks is the best.
Yes.
Incredible. Yeah, everybody send a message to Attell and give her some encouragement, and send a message to Two and give them just heaping amounts of praise for that. That is such a perfect, not even to just put snacks on, like prominently put snacks on the table, but to put trolley snacks on the table. Is
beautiful. Trolley.
Mwah. Love it.
Yeah. So good.
So yeah, that's all we got for tonight, everybody.
Yep.
As always, make sure that you're following billsheener.substack.com. Pay him for his journalism so that we can do more stupid, dumb shit like this, because we love to do it. Buy a t-shirt off of us, wct3k.storeenvy.com. We have the Commenters Union shirt is available now. Let's get some shirts going for that. We got some shows coming up that you can listen to Parts Unknown. It's WrestleMania week, everybody. WrestleMania is coming up this weekend. Watch it on Peacock and listen to our show.
Didn't that just happen?
WrestleMania?
Yeah, didn't some crazy. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. I feel like Jenny just got together with a bunch of other people to watch
the Royal Rumble. God,
is it
you gotta listen to the damn show. I'm telling you, dude. You know all this stuff. Woot Nanny has some shows coming up. We have this later on this week. We got a show called 2 Bits at the new Heartland Barber location in Millbury. Shaun and I are hosting. with Murray Dickinson and Brianna Woodward and Christy Kielczynski, headlined by Laura Savars, our absolute favorite comedian. She's so incredible. She's moving to LA soon, so come to the show. It's very fun. Josh is putting us up for the night, and it's going to be a blast. So come check that out. Wear your Commenters Union shirt there. We also just are announced today we have a brand new show coming up at the end of April, on April 23rd. Hijack Comedy over at Wooden Bar. They're working with us. It's going to be a Sunday night show, 7 p.m. They're going to be doing some food and drink specials while we're there. This is also an incredible lineup. Just $10. You can go to our Eventbrite. This is going to be the first show under our grant, with our grant money that we got from the Worcester Arts Council. So we're very excited about that. We have a ton of stuff coming up this summer because of all that. So follow us here at WCT3000 on Instagram, Hootenanny Comedy as well. Make sure you're a subscriber here on Twitch so you are always aware of when we're on. I think we're looking to do some more stuff coming up soon this summer. We can do live shows now. We figured it out. It took us one try, and we perfected it. So we're going to be doing some more streams of live shows, and we're very excited about that. Yenni, Brendan, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, you guys are incredible. Do you have anything you guys would like to plug?
I'm leaving for Alaska tomorrow morning. If anybody needs anything, shoot me a text.
All right.
I want to keep that as vague as possible.
Yeah.
That's all you get.
If you come back, that's great.
We have a new group that's getting together to discuss urbanism-related things on Monday nights at New Kitchen, based around the ideas of strong towns. If you have not heard of strong towns, go check out their Twitter, go check out their book and their just bikes on YouTube also has a lot of really great stuff in that similar category. It's all about roads and streets and rebuilding towns from the ground up in a way that's people centric. So hopefully we'll get a few more people out there. It's a just brand new group just starting to get together and organized. So that's at New Kitchen on 6 on Mondays.
Cool.
And we're in the back
meaning to make it out
area.
to one of those. Yeah.
I missed yesterday's, but
Travis,
and then there's the Nitty Council.
Hell yeah, what's
as
the
always.
council?
At the Village. Love the Village.
Mhm.
Listen to Seltzer Time. It comes out on Fridays. Find it where you find podcasts.
Oh, you got a new networking? No Jerks?
No Jerks, April 12th at Redemption Rock.
Hell yeah.
Epic Stratton came out. A couple of other people came out. It was really rad of y'all.
It was awesome. Donate to candidates. We're getting into it now, so throw some money at your favorite candidates.
That's right.
And,
Papers coming out.
Rob Bellata, throw him some cash. Throw Christian some money. Jenny sounds like maybe he's gonna have an opponent soon. So let's make it too late. Let's throw them some cash, and then we will see you guys soon. Not next Tuesday, the one after. We love you all.
Great
Good
weekend.
night, everybody. Bye.